figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for. Gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe, and I guess I could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me. Give it up, baby, I'm not fooling anyone. Always going on and on. Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow of doubt. And I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground so we can fly again, so we can fly again. I've been trying hard not to go out of my mind. And all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift me off the ground so we can fly again, so we can fly again.
speed of light do decay more slowly than stationary particles. As strange and counterintuitive as it seems, time dilation is a law of nature.
figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for. Gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe, and I guess I could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me. Give it up, baby, I'm not fooling anyone. Always going on and on. Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow of doubt. And I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground so we can fly again, so we can fly again. I've been trying hard not to go out of my mind. And all I need.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport here for the Pro this evening, round 17 and 18 of the championship. And my God, is things hotting up. We've got a hell of a series on for you tonight. 8 races left to go. Ruapuna Park, where we are tonight. We head stateside next week for Laguna Seca. We go to the European circuit, to the famous circuit of the Nürburgring Grand Prix, and then we end it at the historic circuit of Spa, not the historic layout, but the normal layout, but we know Spa with its great history. I'm Matthew Duffy, joined in the commentary box once again by my partner in crime, Jamie Brazier. And Jamie, very good evening to you, sir, and what are we looking forward to tonight?
Good evening, Matt. You're looking, damn nearly losing it there, coming out of hits. Yeah, look, the main focus will be on the on this mega title fight that we're having between North Dubs and Andy, and on the battle for relegation. There are so many people involved in that, but yeah, the main focus is definitely going to be on Dan versus Andy for the title.
Indeed it is. And with 3 drivers tonight on double points, we'll get to who they are in the second race. I'll run through the current championships at the moment. Andy leads the way. He's 20 points clear of unorthodox, and it is tight in this league. Dan and Kelly talk about how tight it is between me and Plava on a Wednesday night. That's 55 points. This is 20. The gap is so close, it's unreal. Fury then 86 back in third, with Gary 125 back in P4. BT Targer, he's 132 off the back of these boys, but has his double points to take, and a good double points round for him could put him right up the top of this pack here and could put him right in contention. He's got to take them either this week or next week. D Biggs, he's used his double points. X-Mite's P6, 163 back. He used his double points last week. D Biggs did as well. He's in that 7th place, just ahead of Emo Guy. Not yet out there on the track is Emo Guy tonight. Sooty Apex, yet to use his. When will he use his? Tonight or next week? He is P9 on 110 points. Peaceful Explosions P10, he's used his double points. He's on 108. Argent hasn't used his yet. Will it be tonight? Will it be next week? He's P11 with Maze Gamer in 12th. Not out there on the track either at the moment. He's got to use his tonight or next week, but he's not there on 88 points, and this is where it gets tight. 88 points for him, 82 points for Disco in 13th, yet to use double points as well. 81 points for Monkey Boy, who's yet to use double points. Little Leech, double points was 0 last week, so gains nothing. He's on 81 points. He's got a lot of work to do. And Kelly, 68 on double points. 5 drivers there, Jamie, that are all fighting for relegation. 2 drivers at the top of the standings for promotion. It is one hell of a tight championship at the moment.
Oh yeah, it's such a tight championship. Most people know Touring Cup, the BTCC for being a tight championship, and this is exactly the same.
It is exactly the same. The Constructors' Championship, I've just realised I've not even got my right microphone plugged in. The Constructors' Championship is Shake and Bake lead the way, 34 points clear of Slingshot Motorsport, 78 clear of Sandbags Motorsport in third. 4th place is Team Prolapse. They are some 60 points clear of Leach Motorsport, who are well clear of Simplay Racing, who have a point over Forever Forward Racing, and Audio Sport Prolapse are 10 points back there as well. And Jamie, the bottom 3 in the Constructors, the top 2 in the Constructors as well. It's similar like the drivers. Points up for grabs everywhere. Can you just talk us through this next bit of practice? I'm going to run and just sort this microphone out so it's the right one. I'll be back in about 5 minutes if you could take that us through practice, buddy.
Yeah, so top of the standing time so far is D Biggs with a 119.7, just a thousandth of a second faster than Disco, but Disco Face, who's trying to stave off relegation after not turning up last week for Long Beach. Started coming through this little chicane. It's so easy to get wrong, as he almost does there. Comes to towards the final corner. Once again, this corner is very easy to get wrong, very easy to go very deep there, lose the rear. Comes across, about to come across the line. Is it going to go any quicker? No quicker. Go on board. KLF off. Not a very good round for this man last week at Long Beach. Ended up on his roof in race 2 at turn 1. That pretty much ended his race, which never really seemed to be on the pace. Hopefully he'll be on the pace a bit more and be able to get off the bottom of the standings. He's in 7th place at the minute, 2 seconds off Andy, who's gone quickest now. So Andy's already thrown down the benchmarker to run off. Oh, who's that? That's D Biggs. Has just gone off. I think he's just come out of the pits as well. Get in the comments if you've got any fond memories of this circuit. I know I certainly don't, from season 2 losing the championship to Gary 131 in the last round. Fury's now gone quickest, so Fury looking strong around Ruapuna Park.
Can we hear me?
Yep, we can hear
Brilliant.
that.
Right, we are back. Apologies about that one then. A mad rush because I got the date wrong for tonight's race. Right, where was we, Jamie? Where was we?
Just talking about fond memories around this circuit.
Yeah.
And how I lost the season 2 championship to Gary around here.
My fondest moment about that race was when you disappeared
Yeah.
and then reappeared, and Gary had span on his own and you'd span with him, and it was a bit of like that caused it. It was a bizarre moment. Another one, did you mention the one about unorthodox?
No.
Terrible driving.
Yeah, terrible driving. Funnily enough, it was the top 2 in the championship who came together. Unorthodox went off. I think that was turn 3. He went off.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Came back on, ploughed straight into the side of Andy. So he'll be.
Hang on, waited, then hit the side of Andy. Wasn't one of Dan's finest moments, but hey, we know what happened the 2 seasons after that one. Still no Mace Gamer and no Emo Guy at this moment in time. But Jamie, cars tonight, who tickles your fancy? What driver, what car tickles your fancy tonight? Who's going to do the business?
Well, look at it at the minute, Fury. Fury's tickling my fancy.
Good pace.
4/10 up the Mercedes. This track's a bit of both. It's got a tight, twisty infield section. It's got a quick, so the pit straight and towards turn 1, and this section here is very quick pace, so it suits the Mercedes very well. So the McLaren's going to be, the McLaren and the BMW are going to be very strong on the infield.
Well, that was the case last night with the Audi and myself. Middle sector, final sector, it was all me. First sector, where there's the straights, the Audi was phenomenal, and similar tonight, I reckon. Yeah,
as well. It's probably better to be quicker on the straights around this, because the infield doesn't really present much of an overtaking opportunity. It's so tight and twisty that you need the person in front to make a mistake to get through.
As we say, a good evening to Smithy in the chat. Who else is in there? PN Motorsport, I can see he's in there. Disco McDisco Face. Evening to Mike Matthews, a.k.a. Peaceful Explosion. Peaceful Stepdad's there. And Plover, good evening to you, buddy. Fury's granddad, the Fury Massive in. Mother Davis is in the chat as well. Good evening, Mother. Welsh is in with us as well. So it's great to see everybody already in the chat. 17 people watching, 11 likes. If you are new to the channel, hit that thumbs up button. If you and hit the like on the video as well. Hit the bell to be notified. We'll be back live on Sunday evening, where Dan Davis will be bringing you the Silverstone Grand Prix, the home of motor racing, the home of British motor racing, the British Grand Prix around Silverstone. What going to happen around there? Do you want some lap records, Jamie, for this track?
Yep.
Qualifying lap record. Yourself with a 1:19.019, which we did in Season 2. And the race record, yourself, 1:19.305 in Race 2 of Season 2 that night. So already BT Target has just broken your record. The only man quicker than your record so far from Season 2. Are we expecting records to tumble here? Because as we spoke about in the week, we said, Long Beach and Alton Park, that was last week and the week before, was a year ago since then. This is 2 weeks earlier than what it was in Season 2. So with it being New Zealand, the temperatures are actually better now than what they will be in 2 weeks' time. Could we see the records being broke tonight with hotter temperatures, meaning better grip for the cars? Obviously, this is a talking point. It was a talking point last night. With the temperatures, what tyres are these guys running? But can you see the records being broken tonight?
Oh yeah, I can definitely see the records being broken tonight. Say, not only as a track wall, but I think everyone on this grid has definitely progressed from Season 2. There's a lot of people who can break the lap record. Probably about I was going to say probably about three quarters of the grid could break the lap record.
Well, let's wait and see what they do. In terms of tyres, it was a big talking point last night. Let's talk about it, me and you now. It's on a weird edge here because the air temperature is only in the 20-odd degrees. The track temperature is 30 to 40 degrees here. And it's a weird one because the softs work but seem to burn out. The hards work as well, but you've got to really set them up well for them to work properly.
Yeah, you've got to have a good understanding of how the hard tyres work to get them to work properly. I remember back in season 2, I was running the soft tyres and actually pitted and changed soft tyres. Oh, X-Mark's gone off there. Yeah, I changed soft tyres midway in my pit stop and I was actually quicker come the end of the race. But the only problem is with there not really many overtaking opportunities. You've got to get those passes done quickly. Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck behind traffic like I did in race 2.
And that was the problem, wasn't it? Gary obviously went the other tyre option, didn't choose to change his tyres. The other thing is, as well as you're in that traffic because you lose that bit more time in the pit stops by changing the tyres. A lot of things that could have gone your way in that season that didn't. But this is the lottery again tonight, isn't it? Is it a change of tyre track? Do you gamble that extra long pit stop by changing the tyres? Do you gamble the hard? Do you gamble the soft to the end? Going to be interesting to see what drivers are on. Enplava was the track lottery this Saturday. So this Saturday coming, Enplava. So not tomorrow, the day after. About mid-afternoon, so about 3 p.m. GMT, UK time, we'll be doing the live streaming, myself, and not sure if anybody will be joining me on a live stream, but myself at least will be on to do the track draw for next season, for Season 6 GT3 tracks. So if you haven't picked a track, please message me personally on Discord or Facebook or on the PlayStation if you haven't picked a track yet for next season, and I'll let you know if it has already been selected. If it has, pick until there's a track that hasn't been, and we'll get it down on the list. Get the old dusty old bingo ball machine out. We haven't done that since Season 2. It was Season 2 when we used the bingo ball machine. It was Season 2 when we went to Alton Park, Long Beach and Ruapuna Park. Jamie, tonight, New Zealand Ruapuna, do we like the track? Because I tell you what, I thought last night it was very interesting. I think it brings some decent racing. I like the circuit. I think it's a good... It reminds me a bit of like... do you know if you had the touring cars go around here? I think it's a good touring car track. I think that's why I like it a lot.
Oh, little H just spinning there. It's not my favourite track, but I wouldn't say that I really dislike the track, because I'm quick around here, but say it's not because of how twisty it is. It also just feels a bit stop-start.
Yes.
To me, you can say with not many overtaking opportunities, but then you look at something like Alton Park, which hasn't got many overtaking opportunities, but I like that track a lot more because there's a lot more flow, and this track is very stop-start. Yeah,
there's a lot of corners that seem to come after a straight. I get what you mean. Like I quite like one of my personal favourites is Interlagos, where it's corner after corner, bar the first sector. Whereas I see what you mean. This corner, come through turn 2, you got a good bit of straight until the hairpin. You go through the hairpin, there's a bit of straight. All right, then you get a bit of a twisty section, but then you got a bit of a straight, then a right-hander, straight, left-hander, straight to the final corner, long straight to turn 1, and I do get what you mean. Don't worry, I have said Enplava. Good evening, Sons in the chat. Good evening, Mother Davis. And Enplava has picked his track. Some facts from around here. Pole positions tonight. If a Mercedes-Benz can get a pole position, it could take it to 58 pole positions overall here at Simplay. The Porsche hit the milestone of 25 pole positions last week with Gary. Can the BMW M6 get to a milestone of 25 pole positions as well tonight? Can it be the second car to get to 25 pole positions? In terms of race wins, the Porsche is 1 race win away from 40 in the Pro. It's 2 race wins away from 50 overall. Its closest rival is the Lamborghini, but of course there's no Lamborghinis this season. So the McLaren then sitting in 3rd. Can that get closer to the Lamborghini? The BMW is 1 win clear of the Audi after the Enplava got the Audi's 13th overall win last year. For what the cars do we have out there? The 2 Ferraris not yet taken a race win or a pole position. In fact, have they had a pole position? I'm sure Mike has had a pole this season. He has. So let me just edit that one.
I think Mike has just ended up in the grass.
Mike has had a pole position. So can the Ferrari get a second or maybe third pole position to go above the BMW Z4? Can it get its first race win to be tied with the Mercedes SLS on 1 race win apiece? No milestones in terms of appearances tonight. Sooty Apex will make his 96th and 97th race appearance, provided he makes both race starts here tonight. Little Each and Peaceful will go into the 120 mark. In terms of race wins, though, Fiori can equal and if not beat your record tonight, Jamie, of 22 all-time all-time race wins here at Simplay by going to 23. Gary could get himself on the 20 mark as well and put himself some 6 clear of myself. If Andy wins both races tonight, he'll be tied with me on 14. For Dan, though, he's on 31 wins overall, can get to that 33 mark tonight and can be getting closer to the 50 milestone as well. Any pro drivers gaining on their 50th appearance? Maze Gamer not here yet, so he's stuck on 34. Just looking through the list, there's no other pro driver on the grid that's not made that many appearances yet. So just Maze Gamer at the moment in terms of those making 100. Andy's on 85. And then Kelly's on 64. Emo Guy 63, but he's not here. X Mart's on 60. BT Targa's on 59. Disco's on 57. So a lot of pro drivers, I'll have to wait for a couple of seasons till they get to their 100th start. But what car tonight, Jamie? What car in particular are you saying is going to be the favourite? Take the drivers out of the car and the car's just there on paper. What cars are you saying is the favourite car for tonight?
I have to say the McLaren. Just because it's just going to be so good through those twisty sections.
Yeah.
And it's not quick in a straight line, but I'd say it's probably not too bad compared to the BMW. The Mercedes, it will just get destroyed in a straight line by, but
yeah.
The BMW, I think it has a bit of a chance against. And the Porsche, after seeing what it was like last week, the Porsche, whoever's driving the Porsche, Little Leach and Gary, could get out and walk past the McLaren.
Yeah, Gary and Little Leach are ones that could do something tonight. The Porsche looks a strong car, but I agree. The McLaren looks a quality car. I feel for there's not enough sharp corners for the BMW to get the traction out and really go with. As here's Gary, not yet done a lap time. The two Ferraris are currently the slowest cars out there on track. And look at Gary, straight into P4 with his first lap. Good lap, Gary. Gary likes his track, enjoys it as well.
Yeah, and I was going to say, with Emo Guys, it's a shame he's not here, because when we last came to the circuit, he won race 2.
He did, yeah. Fury's mum, evening to you in the chat. Gary, I actually need a word with this man tonight, Jamie. I saw on Facebook, I don't know if you've got him as a friend on Facebook, but I saw a certain TY House got married the other day. Congratulations to him. I didn't see Gary there as his best man in the pictures.
Gary must be insulted.
So I need to have a chat with this man a little later. If he's listening to the stream, evening, Gary. Apologies, but I will question you about where you was in a little bit. But Gary coming around some stellar pace. Only half a second off the times already. Look at Dan. Where's Andy? Down in 7th, behind his teammates as well. Top 7 covered by just under a second. Oh wow.
Gary 6/10 up. So yeah. So Gary won race 1 last year after I disappeared on track.
It's funny this, right? Because Gary's actually what a legend. He knows a guy that runs a commentating company, and the guys we've been emailing yesterday. So I've gone through to get some clips, and I've been going through to get clips. Gary's told me about this for a while, so I've been going through to get clips as Gary goes second quickest. And you will hate me for this. One of the clips I found was Catalonia from season 3, and I was watching through yesterday, and I'm timestamping to get the clips. And you absolutely dominated that race. Yeah. But the chat, those who's regular and have been here since season 1 will know what happened to Jamie and as to why he didn't win that race. That was, what a shame. Catalonia, though, what an interesting track that was. That was a track about tyres as well. And who could do what on their tyres. This man, Argent. Sorry, go on.
I remember Catalonia. I think you're in test. I was rubbing my hands together because the Audi was the only one that managed to work on the tyre. I think that's BT in the pit lane. Yeah, BT
just glitching out the pits. But we're all right with that. We can carry on with everything at the minute.
Argent. Hopefully this man has a consistent night again, like he did last week.
Yeah, he had a good week last week, and can he keep up that form going into this week as well? Can he carry on his momentum? He's down in 10th at the minute, so you wouldn't suggest that so far, but is he just working on a few things? What's he working on? We look at him, he's in a relegation fight. He's only 27 points away from that relegation scrap, so he's well in that fight as well, and he's got some work to do.
Yeah, so a good night tonight, and he puts himself. He could find himself out of the relegation fight as KLF comes into the pits. This man needs a good night.
Yeah, this man needs an incredible night. Sorry, I was just shutting the stairgate. This man needs an incredible night. What could his teammate do as well? Not really getting on, even into Beth in the chat, not really getting on with the McLaren this year. They both kind of have regretted picking it. They both, Sutty said he'd rather be in the Acura, and that's not just me saying that. That is what Sutty's words. Kelly wished he'd been in the Porsche, and struggled in it, haven't they? They've really struggled in it. Dan here, is this a qualifying lap from Dan? Low fuel run maybe, because he's 4/10 up by his time. I tell you what, this could be.
Yeah, that's a low fuel run.
Low fuel run. So Dan here.
He was 4/10 up in the middle sector as well, so we'll see what he does coming across the line just to make Andy even more nervous.
Yeah, and every week we always...
4/10 quicker.
He's some boy. Every week, look, we say about Dan... and about Andy qualifying, and does Dan have anything in response to Andy in qualifying? And we say, well, not really. But tonight, I tell you, Andy doesn't look like he's on the pace here. And does Dan have that benefit over Andy tonight? Does Dan have what it's taking here to make sure he can close that gap from 20 points to as little as possible come the end of this week? Dan will, of course, want that third title. He'll be the first man to take 3 titles here at Simplay Motorsport. But you have to say, why does he look like he's got damage on my screen? Has he hit anything?
No, there's no damage on my screen.
Oh, that is strange. He's got a smashed up windscreen and a bent bonnet. Either way, he's got no damage. I don't think he's hit anything. I think it's just glitched out. But Dan on his way here behind his title rival, Andy. So he's also got damage. He looks like he's hit his bumper somewhere. Oh dear, this...
Yeah, there's definitely damage on Andy's. Yeah,
Dan getting quite close to the back of Andy here. He'll want to back off and give himself a nice clean run.
Yeah, so this is a track where you need the clean air. Down into turn 1 and possibly turn 2, turn 3.
Oh.
That's where you want the victory.
Dan getting through Andy and saying, look, I'm not waiting around, I'm going here. Andy has the most pole positions with 25. Dan, only 13 to his name at Simplay Motorsport. You'll never guess who's second place.
No clue.
Yourself with 19 pole positions. So Dan's still 6 behind JB. It's incredible to think that you pulled out last season and have missed this season and are still second on wins and pole positions. It's quite incredible that you're still that high up in the list. As they start their laps now, I think it's BT Targa who's the first car on a lap. Dan has left Andy and pretty much gone on the back of BT Targa. So we'll stay with BT for the lap. BT Targa then, he has 7 pole positions to his name. He's got 2 this season. Can he add a third to it? Oh.
Is that
Dan
running?
That's Dan, yeah. That is wide.
Yeah, so is he going to back out of this lap and go again? To be fair, he was really close to the back of Andy, and he's got really close to the back of BT.
It's as if he got past Andy and then just tried to carry on with it and got too close to BT Targa there. Yeah, I think BT's backed at his lap. So BT's bailed. Dan will continue on his way. Andy, a flash of the lights for BT Targa.
I think Andy's backed out as well because BT's just got in his way a little bit.
Yeah, still flashing of the lights for Andy there. BT pulls out the way now. X-Martin Sutty in the pits. Now, we saw Sutty in the pits last week trying to pull a genuine technique.
I was going to say that technique might work a little bit more here because there's not many overtaking opportunities. There's more overtaking opportunities than there was at Long Beach.
Yes, Andy then, an 18.7, answers back to the critics. The pit exit comes straight out onto the racing line, so it's the oncoming driver's responsibility to make sure that they spot the drivers coming out of the pits and get well out of the way. BT Targitel didn't put a quick lap in down in the 24s. What can Fury do as he comes to the line? Crosses it now, goes P3 with a 120.5. Little each back out of the pits. Sutty really not wanting to come out. Here comes Gary 131, currently sits in 10th, comes to the line now and goes P1 with a 118.7. Wow. Great lap from Gary. Dan's got some work to do then to get not only the 1.2 seconds to get ahead of Gary, but he's also to get ahead of Andy, but he needs the 1.2 to get ahead of Gary as well now. He'd love to put a car between himself and Andy.
Yeah, so that's thrown a span. Dan, the works that Andy did not want. He's
no.
6 hundredths of a second quicker than Andy as well.
The minimalist of margins. Dan, though, quickest through Sector 1 at this moment in time. No purple in Sector 2 for Unorthodox as Disco has just gone third. Argent goes and puts it in 8th. Here comes Dan then, rounding the final corner. Who's the car behind him? It's BT Targa. We'll jump to BT in a moment. Dan to the line then. Is it good enough for pole? It is good enough for pole by 0.3 of a second. Here comes BT. He moves up to 4th. So Dan has got his wish and has put a car between himself and Andy. Well then, this could make things very, very interesting. Monkey Boy to the line. Currently P8. Does he improve on that? He improves on his time just, but stays in 8th place. Some 0.2 off the back of Fury. Here's Kelly out the final corner. Gary's just behind Kelly. Kelly to the line with BT and Disco in the pits. Kelly goes P7. Good lap from him. Gary to the line. A 10th down on his time and cannot improve there. Who's out at the final corner? It's Xmart then Andy. Here comes Xmart then. No time on the board at the minute. He is in 13th place. Crosses the line to start his lap. Andy to the line. Slower. Yes.
He's got his teammate now to help him as well.
Yes. D Biggs back in the pit lane. Sutty's out on track.
Yeah, there is Sutty.
There he is.
That's a rare sight, Sutty out in qualifying.
It is indeed. Dan then. And Argent, green and green through Sector 1 and 2. So where is Argent? Is Argent coming to the line now? It is, and improves by 1.6. Goes P11. So that must be Dan then, the car behind, who's exited the final corner. It is Dan. Any improvement from him on this lap? He goes a 10th quicker. So he's now got half a second to Gary 131. That's Peaceful in the background. Dan into the pit. Is he done? Peaceful in the background. What can Peaceful get here?
Gary in the pits as well.
Improves by a 10th. Gary in the pits.
He's just half a second slower than Monkey Boy.
Yeah, that's some strange pace tonight from Peaceful. He's normally quite good in the qualifying sessions. I'm not going to read Welsh's comment there in the chat. Little Each crosses the line. He's P7. Who's that just coming down? That's Kelly crossing the line. He's gone P8. Wow, good lap from Kelly. Who's that behind? Is that Fury? I think Xmart's one of the cars. Here is Fury to the line. Goes 5th.
Ooh, that's good.
Xmart crosses the line. He's gone 9th now. Andy's gone pole. Wow, okay. Hello, turn up for the books.
Is he going to? Yeah, he's going back to the pits.
Xmart went 9th. Dan's back out the pits. Biggs is round in the final corner now. And it's down the straight. What can D Biggs do? Currently 6th, goes no better. Someone out the final corner. Who is that? Not quite sure. Is it Monkey Boy? No, it's not. Someone to the line. We'll keep our eye on the timing screen. It's Argent. Improves again.
12th.
Not the pace from Argent tonight. Not the pace. Peaceful as well. So where's Peaceful on track?
Peaceful is now coming out of the final corner.
Yeah, and what's he on? He's on a green and green lap here. So this is a personal best. Can he get this any further up? He's currently 0.2 off the back of Sutty. Wow! Talk about finding a bit of time. He's found it at the right moment then, putting Sutty down to 14th place now. Who's that coming around the final corner? Not quite sure at the moment. It's not BT. We'll stick with BT though. It's Gary to start a lap. We'll stick with BT Targan now. Someone's just crossed the line. Can't see. Kelly goes 9th. So Kelly improving once more as well, finding some pace. Here comes BT. He improves to 3rd. What a qualifying session. Xmart in the background. Does he improve? Fury goes 5th. He's gone back to the pits. Xmart, no improvement. I think it was Disco down the straight as well. Where's Disco? He stays P7. Who was behind him? That was Sutty Apex, who's gained a bit of time, but close. Oh.
He's gone quicker, and there's Fury coming slowly out the pits. That's Monkey Boy just behind. Another car coming across the line. Who was
D Biggs? Stay 6th. Stay 6th. Right, who's at the final corner? Is that Andy? At the final corner. It is Andy. So is this his outlap?
Yeah, this is his outlap.
So he's got a 10th to Dan. What a qualifying session this is, because don't forget there's a point for this pole. Oh! That's not what he wants.
There's 2 people at the final corner. One's a Little Each as he comes across the line. I think that was an outlap from him. Who's that just in front?
That was, I think, Peaceful. Gary's in the background to cross the line.
Yeah, that was P. Ooh, Little Each.
Gary's improved. So Gary's gone found a couple of tenths there.
Yeah,
I think BT, is that BT or Kelly to the line? Not quite sure. That must have been Kelly. Kelly's still 9th at the minute. Here comes BT, 4th place. 4 tenths off the pole at the minute. Can BT Target find anything at the line? No, he can't. Gary to the pits. Gary, Disco, Little Eater all done. That's X-Mark crossing the line. He stays P11. That's Monkey Boy in front. What can Monkey Boy do? He's down on his time.
So he's gone up to 12. Just
knocking Argent to 14th. Monkey Boy improves back to 12th.
Yep. Fury stays 5th. No, D Biggs goes up to 5th.
Good lap from Biggs. Dan, then we saw how to spin this lap, so he's got to get this last one right. Right, who's at the final corner? That is Argent. Will Argent get an extra lap in? I think he will. Who's behind Argent? Who's at the last corner? It's Andy at the last corner. Here comes Argent. No improvement. Gets one more lap. Andy to the line.
He'll get one more lap.
Yeah, he'll get one. No, I think he's done. He's bailed. Who's that coming down the start straight? They'll just squeeze an extra lap in. Well, whoever it is, let's find who's coming to the last corner. So KLF will be the first man to finish. It's Kelly. Let's go back to Kelly. Peaceful got a lap in there. Yeah, let's go back to Kelly. He'll be the first man to get a lap in. The other car at Sector 2, I think, is... I'm not quite sure, actually. We'll keep our eyes on it.
We can't quite see it.
No. Kelly to the line. Any improvement? No. Stays P9. Right. Someone's off. No, they're in the pits, so they're done. Who's next? It's Monkey Boy, then Fury. So let's see. Can Monkey Boy or Fury improve on their times? What a qualifying session here, Jamie. And Andy taking that extra point at the minute and the upper hand so far.
After this, I think that is unorthodox. After these, we see Monkey Boy comes across the line. No improvements. Oh, he does.
He does. He goes 11th. Yep. Fury stays P6. Is it Dan? It is Dan. Does he have pole? No, he doesn't. Who's left on a lap then? I think it's just Peaceful. Oh, no, he's off. Who's at the last corner? It must be Argent. It is Argent. So Argent then. Oh, he's had a moment.
He's had a moment as well.
Quali done.
Yeah, Peaceful went off to Australia there.
And advantage Andy. Jamie, talk us through this grid.
On pole position, championship leader, and Andy by a tenth of a second over his title rival Unorthodox. Third place, Mr. Two Times, Gary 131. Fourth place in his McLaren, BT Targa. Fifth place in another McLaren, D Biggs. Sixth, Fury in the first of the Mercedes. The second BMW of Disco McDisco facing seventh. The first of the Ferraris of Peaceful Explosion. A very good qualifying for him in ninth or eighth. KLF 900 in 9th. Very good qualifying for him. Little Each down in 10th. He's got a lot of work to do in this race. Monkey Boy in 11th. X-Mart in 12th. And the last row of the grid is Sutty, Apex and Argent.
That then means that is Andy's 26th pole position here at Simplay Motorsport. It gives another pole to the BMW M6, taking that to 25 pole positions here tonight. But more importantly, Jamie, for the championship, it gives Andy that extra little bonus point, making the gap 21 points at the start of race one. But the thing is about the grid here, Jamie, you are side by side going into turn one. You start exactly level pegging. The difference is P1 gives you that inside into the braking zone and into the left-hander of turn one. P2, you've got to go the long way round, and it's very easy for cars to get up your inside and just force you out wide a little bit. Dan has got to be careful here. What Dan needs here is exactly what I got in race one last night. A start where Dan and Kelly was questioning me jumping the start, but actually getting away right as the lights went to green. Dan needs one of them to get ahead here. Who's your money on for the win?
I'm actually going to put my money on Gary for this one.
Well, if you can keep it consistent, I might agree with you. I'm going to go BT Targa. I'm going to go BT Targa. I think these two are going to trip up each other at the front of the grid. But there's your front row. There's your second row. Let's go back to, there's your front row of Andy and Dan. Look, the McLaren and BMW. The second row of Gary and BT Targa. Third row of D Biggs and Fury. Row 4 of Disco McDisco Face and Peaceful Explosion. Row 5 is the old yellow. Row 5 is KLF and Little Itch. Good qualifying from Kelly. Great job from him. Monkey Boy alongside X-Mart for row 7. Row 8 and the final row tonight is Sutty Apex and Kieran Argent, as we are awaiting the drivers to just ready up here.
Whilst we're waiting, do you want to tell everyone what originated at this track, Matt?
What originated at this track was the London Buses comment by Kieran Argent. Can someone get the London Buses tonight? The revs are rising, the lights are on, we've got 3 red. It's green, and Dan has got the best start possible. Gary into the back of Andy. What a dreadful getaway. Dan has the launch he needed. Gary and Big T Targa second and third going into turn one, and you could not make it. You could not dream. Gary's off. Gary's off, and how he doesn't hit Dan, I don't know. Disco's also around. Carnage.
Carnage. Absolute carnage. Andy somehow managed to get back up to 7th. I wonder whether he's got any damage. He's side by side with Little Each. Get some move done on him.
Oh, that's a wiggle. That's D Biggs who's had a wiggle in the background. But you look at the front. KLF up to third from 9th at the start. What a getaway from Dan, though. Andy did not move and react to the lights. Unorthodox being hassled by the Sandbags Motorsport youngster of Fury. And I tell you what, he will not let Dan rest for this race win. But look at this man already.
KLF must be getting a nosebleed. He's that high.
What a start. What happened to Andy at the start? What happened to Gary? That will be answered. Little Each is now off in the background. Biggs is down to dead last. Peaceful's 12th. Who else has had a good start? Monkey Boy's up there as well. BT's lost a couple of places on the opening lap. So has Andy. We know he's lost from 1st to 6th, but is 6th. And that's the biggest thing here. Dan just gapping Fury a little bit as they end the first lap of 22. Dan leads from Fury.
Look at the gap. KLF has got, he's all on his own. Got Monkey Boy up into 4th. He's had an absolute brilliant start, and he's got the train of BT, Andy, Sutty, and Gary
and Exmart. Yeah, a train of 4 that he's got to deal with. Pit window opens at the end of lap 4, so they cannot pit until then. But what a start for Dan. He couldn't have dreamed for it any better.
No, he couldn't have asked for a better start. I bet he had his eyes shut when he saw Gary come across.
Oh, yes. There was definitely a bit of a brown pants moment. BT Targa has got some traffic on the back of him, which is allowing... In fact, what's happened to Monkey Boy? He's dropped to 8th because they've all got past him now. BT Targa's up to 4th. There is Monkey Boy. Oh, gets a bit of a tap up the rear from Exmar. And Monkey Boy just being able to keep it on the track. And he's on the curb. No. Yeah, you do not want to be on the curbs. Oh, Argent. Argent caught up with him. It's Disco here then, now up the inside of Argent, who took a big whack there to Monkey Boy. And Disco stays behind Kieran Argent, and Kieran tucks in now to that 10th place. Peaceful's back up to 9th after his start. Dan still has Fury with him, and Kelly, after lap 2, still has a 3-2 second gap ahead of BT Targa, but he's still just going nicely at the moment, and will be taking this at the minute. Is Kelly. Absolutely cracking start from him. Oh, Dan nearly getting on the grass there for the braking. Fury very deep.
Yeah, Fury nearly into the back of him.
Dan's going to be nervous every time he sees that car get right on the back. Look at this. This is brilliant from KLF. And there you see in the background Andy hassling the back of BT Targa's car. Now what we know is Andy gained a point, and it's 21 between him and Dan all over the curb. You got to be careful out there at times that the car doesn't snap. Andy then losing out massively here because Dan will take full 25 for the race win. Andy at the minute down in 5th place will only score 11 points. So Dan will pull back 14 with a gap's 21. So at the minute it's going in the way of Dan, but there's a long, long way to go in this, and this is where Andy now can be maybe just as strong as this McLaren in the middle section. Get the right runs through the corners, and Andy could be all over the back of that McLaren of BT Targa. Gary's just lost out to Sutty in the background. Sutty, in fact, the Audio Sport Pro Laps boys running 3rd and 6th at the minute. They're having a cracking drive so far.
Brilliant drive. Just like I said, the McLaren's going to be brilliant through this middle section.
Here is Sutty Apex then. Can he keep Gary behind him for long? He'll be wanting to. Old rivals from season 1. They'll be wanting to play with each other as much as they can. And Gary giving him the old flash there, saying, come on, boy, what you got? Show me what you've got. The gap out front is half a second as they come through turn 1. But here comes Gary up the inside. And Sutty can't do nothing about it. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots. Door wide open. Sutty's normally more aggressive at his defence than that. He gave Gary that. But does he know that Gary's got a mistake in him as he's very, very wide? Gary keeps it pinned. And nearly comes on and makes contact with Sutty there. And I'm sure these boys will be in a party with each other. But look at Kelly. BT Targa now on the back of him here. Just a bit of a pole out from Kelly last time out of the 21.5. We said these softs may start to overheat. Is this where they're going to? Because Kelly at the minute I think is running the softs, was confident on them. Is this where now he's just got to get them back into a groove? BT hassling the back of this McLaren.
I thought Gary had made a mistake there. I thought I saw his name coming down the times. This is where KLF could help his.
Not sure if I lost Jamie there, but BT Target hassling the back of Kelly. Kelly just a little wide out the corner there. BT's going to have a look up the inside. He's going to squeeze it through, and they make contact, and that's left the door wide open, and Andy sails up the inside of both of them.
No, he's not got BT.
He hasn't got BT. I thought he had for a minute, but BT tucks back in. Kelly will be disappointed with that one. Here comes Andy. Does Kelly think of it as well? He's going to have a look, you know. Can't get it done. BT, how wide does he go? Kelly just cannot get past. It's like a moving roadblock here, not allowing these two past at the minute. Coming into the left-hander. Andy gets the best of it. Kelly trying to get back up the inside of BT. Here comes BT again. Andy defends it. Kelly's now to the outside, and this is great battling from these three. And Kelly having a right old scrap with BT Target, and Andy here getting the elbows out and showing that he's still got it and can still fight with the youngsters. But I think now the hairpin has cost him.
Yeah, what I was about to say before I was cut off was Kelly could have helped Unorthodox in a massive way there. He could have just backed BT and Andy right up.
I mean,
knowing that Andy's is Unorthodox's closest title rival.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. Dan has got a second to tyre on the road now. Disco's round. He's had a bit of a mare there. Where's he? He's down in P11. He's got clear traffic, so can spin that one around with Monkey Boy and Little Leach coming. But Andy clipped a tyre there. Is that going to give him damage? Little Leach and the first car in the pits, and that will be at the end of lap 4 for him, because this is lap 6 for these boys now. Little Leach in and a lap down.
Yeah, so it looked like Andy had a bit of trouble getting on the exit of that final corner. Look, yeah, I think he's got suspension damage.
Possibly has. He gave that tyre a fair whack, and we know what these tyres are like on this game. They don't half give you a bit of trouble here. Biggs into the pits as well, and just on board Andy then. Look at it at the minute. It is a hassle out there for him, and down into the hairpin we come.
I think he has got a bit of damage.
He's got a bit of something, yeah. I think you're right. And Plava, is BT and Kelly teammates? No, the game registers that Kelly's livery is the same livery as Sooty Apex's. They're a team on the game, and BT's is a team with X-Mars. And he's round, he's dropped it, he's round. Kelly narrowly avoids the back of the Beamer as it spins and gets underway. But that then, is it's going to give Gary a run up the inside of KLF 900. Hard on the brakes. Gary gives him plenty of room outside, and Gary, job done.
Where's the BMW? It's there. So he's just another 5 seconds to Unorthodox, and Unorthodox is cleared off down the road from Fury. He's 2.2 down the road.
He is indeed, but yes. So the team liveries on the game mean that the 2 silver cars are teamed with the 2 oranges. What has happened to... So he's pitted. He's been in the pits. Him, Biggs and Little Leach have pitted. So yes. While we was watching Andy go around, these boys have pitted then. Monkey Boy's got himself past Disco after Disco's problem. Who is that? Little Leach getting out the way. Who is that? That's Biggs and Disco. But they've got to pit.
There's 2 battle packs. There's a battle pack of 3, which...
Oh, Andy's off again!
Yeah, I wonder whether this is tyres.
Struggling. Possibly. Possibly.
He's just got to look after those tyres. He's just got to keep them... Just be nice and gentle with them.
He's struggling here, and Kelly once again now. We've seen how good Kelly can defend this season. Has got that yellow BM right on the back of him, and will have to defend it here through this middle section. Very easy to defend through this part as Andy once again has a bit of a twitch coming through this middle sector here, and the BMW just starting to struggle. Is it on the soft tyre, Jamie? Are you correct here? We'll have to keep an eye on his lap times to see how Andy does. But Gary trying to haul in BT Target. Dan and Fury have checked out up front, but this is providing great drama here. And Kelly, I tell you what, this is still for 5th place, having a cracking evening so far.
Oh yeah, he's having a brilliant evening. He's gone a little bit wide there, but Andy's coming into the pits.
Andy into the pits and at the end of lap 7, and you're right, Kelly was a little wide. You've got to get it slowed down very quickly. Who else is in? Gary into the pits as well. And Smithy in the chat asking if Little Leach is even a pro driver, he says.
We've just lost Little Leach.
Oh, right. So then, we have lost Little Leach from this race. What a stop. Well, he's not had any damage, had he?
Gary's away as well. I think Gary might have fixed some damage from the turn when it's Mr. London Bus is in as well.
We have Argent in, so we have had Little Leach retire. That then is Little Leach's third retirement in a row. That will lead to, unless he can provide evidence as to, or an explanation as to why he's retired, that could be a loss of 20 championship points there.
Yeah, that's not good for Little Leach, especially in him being in a relegation battle.
No, it's not at all peaceful in the pits and out as well. And Gary comes out ahead of Sutty. So Andy's jumped Sutty and Gary. And Gary jumps Sutty in the pits as well. Oh, what a fight at the minute. What a battle. What a race we've had. What an opener to the night.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Unorthodox and Fury are a bit probably don't really know what's going on behind them. They've checked out, having a Sunday drive, not realising what's going on.
Yeah, he's having, them two are just gone, and Dan's not had to defend from Fury much now.
Gary made a little bit of a mistake there coming through the chicane, but I think he ran a little bit wide, so he wasn't really able to capitalise. Monkey Boy's just a further 2 seconds down the road. I think Gary's starting to gap a little bit now from Sutty. Unless Sutty wants to send it at turn 1, I'll give him a tenner if he does.
I'll give him a tenner from that far back. Jesus Christ, I think he'll need more than a tenner. Nobody pitting at the minute as we come on to lap 9 of 22. And it's Dan from Fury, from BT, from Kelly. And Kelly having a solid drive at the minute for P5. This man as well as having a good night at the minute. Kelly's P4 now. This man P5 and matching the pace of Kelly. Not really too dissimilar in their lap times.
No, not massively. And Kelly's not a million miles away off his own teammate's pace. X-Lot runs a little bit wide. He's actually quick. So Kelly's quicker last lap than Monkey Boy, and we saw them battling a lot last week.
Yes, yeah, we did. So Kelly really tonight proving that he's got a bit of pace around here. Kelly's pace isn't far off the back of like Disco's and his own teammates. As Kelly and X-Mart then come into the pit. So now, which pit crew is the better pit crew here? Because this will be a battle of who can get in and out the fastest. Is there anyone else to pit? Let's see. But whose crew is going to work the quickest? In comes Kelly. Stops on his mark. X-Mart in as well. He stops. Who's away first? Kelly's away first. Great stop. That's an even better stop from Kelly. X-Mart just held a little longer. Andy has jumped the both of them, as does Gary. Is Sutty going to come through as well? There is Sutty. Apex gets ahead of his teammate. Well, let's see what happens now. Kelly down to 7th after the first round of pit stops. The top 3 yet to pit. But I mean, 7th place for him is still fantastic points.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's brilliant championship points. In regards to the relegation battle, Monkey Boy and Disco are in. Disco's away now. Monkey Boy's already gone.
Disco and Monkey Boy pitted as well, did you say there? Right, so that's Disco in lap 9, Monkey Boy in lap 9, Dan in now, it's lap 10. Is Fury in with him? No, Fury carries on his way. What about BT Targa? Does he come in or does he carry on his way? He's coming into the pits. So it is just then Fury left to pit. How good is Dan stop? Well, he's on his way now. We didn't even get to see it, but he's on his way, so you'd imagine pretty good. Where's Andy? Just coming through the middle sector. So Dan has got him done, an absolute kipper. BT Targa in the pit, stops at the box. Gary, very, very wide. Can BT get moving anytime soon? He needs to.
He's not moving yet.
I
think Andy's got him.
I think Andy's going to have him because he's going to be up to top speed. I think Gary might have BT Targa as well.
There goes Andy. So the question is...
There goes Gary. So BT Targa drops to 5th place.
So he's just a bit further back. And look, Kelly is still on the...
Yeah, sticking with him. Sticking with him.
So far, I have to say Kelly's my driver of the day.
Yeah, so far, driver of race 1. Kelly's had a fantastic performance at the minute. Sutty a bit wide there, and that'll give Kelly a chance to get even closer within a second now. And team orders, well, are they going to come into play here? Because I will tell you that one of these drivers is on their double points tonight, but I'm not going to say which one. Is it hold stations for them? Is it swap over? This is the question at the minute. Fury answers back to Dan. Fury's in the pit. So let's go to Fury. Where will he come out? BT lost out to Andy and Gary. Where will Fury, who was pretty much a couple of seconds behind Dan? Dan at the final corner. Fury in, stops.
Oh, he's held. Oh, it's not as good a stop as Andy.
No, he's going to be second place, though. Dan's going to take the lead here. Dan back in the lead of this race. Fury into second, though. And Andy still nowhere to be seen. Gary, though, has BT Targa hassling the back of his Porsche here. These two, look, they're not a million miles away from Gary and BT Targa.
No, I bet Sutty's praying that those two come together, because that'd be a fourth for the fifth for him and KLF.
Yeah, what a cracking result that would. Well, Kelly's got a fourth at Texas in race one, if I remember rightly. The gap, Fury. Sorry, go on.
That would be their best result as a team.
As a team, yeah. The gap, Fury to Andy, 11 seconds. Andy has Gary and BT Targa some 4-5 seconds behind them, but they need to get their foot down if they're to catch Andy. Gary's just slowly gapping BT Targa just a bit. But can he do enough to gain on the back of Andy? This is the question now. You look at Andy, 119.5. Dan's out, that was a 24.5. BT Targa's out, that a 24.6. So them boys flying at the minute. Kelly, look, a tenth slower than his teammate. So actually, a tenth quicker than his teammate. No, apologies, you're right. So actually, has got some decent pace out there tonight. Quicker than Argent, racing the same about as Monkey Boy as well. And not far off the back of Peaceful's race pace in this one either. Argent then having a bit of a shocker this week compared to last week.
Yeah, see, I think we say with Argent every week that one week he's consistent, one week one week he's not. So he just needs to, instead of having a really good result one week and having a terrible performance the week after, he kind of just needs something in the middle and then just be able to build off it. Just get good points.
Yeah, Gary deep on the grass, keeps it together. Yeah, you're right. He needs to find that middle ground, doesn't he, and be able to stick with that middle ground. Dan gapping the likes of Fury, some half a second slower than Andy, but when you're 14 seconds up the road, that isn't going to matter. Gary losing 6 tenths. BT Targa at 22.2 last lap, slower than KLF. And KLF and Sutty both quicker than BT Targa. They're trying to close the gap to him here, and I tell you what, if them two can pressure the back of that Team Prolapse McLaren, well, we could be on for an interesting battle towards the end of this race. Where we got a battle on the track, Biggs and Exmart for P8 and 9 here. And these two aren't far back off the back of Kelly.
Yeah, I was only about to mention that. They're only a couple of seconds off the back of Kelly and Sutty. So if these two crack on, they could possibly catch the pair of them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see as we go through this race then, who will do what, who's going to take what positions, and what will happen as we go further into this race.
There's somebody off. Was that Peaceful? I think that might have been Peaceful off.
Yes, he's dropped behind Monkey Boy and Argent. And has had a moment. That's Disco in the background and Argent just before him. So, yeah, you're right. He has dropped behind. Oh, Biggs trying to force his way past Exmart there. And Exmart's going to try and get back in for the slipstream, but just can't as Biggs is just too close to him. Exmart still trying to tuck in, you see, for that slipstream, but can't do it. Onto the brakes into turn one they come now. Exmart's going to have to go the long way around. Can he get a cut back on D Biggs here? That's Kelly just a little further up the road. And Exmart then drops to P9 and loses out to D Biggs. And while I think of this, these two are in a little fight. Biggs is 7th, Exmart's 8th in the championship. The gap is 12 points. So these two having a little battle of their own at the moment.
Yeah, so Biggs at the final corner really got the elbows out. That was a proper turn coming.
Oh, he's round!
Yeah, Exmart's lost it.
He's got plenty of time to a Monkey Boy. He just got to be patient. Plenty of time. Monkey Boy, Argent, Peaceful and Disco, the back four at the minute. Not really any battles on the track. Who's that round at the hairpin? That's still Exmart, who's only just actually got away. So he's lost a lot of time there.
Yeah, you can just see the Ferrari of Monkey Boy in the background. Oh, I think Peaceful... Yeah,
oh, he's had another moment. Just coming through the turn two left-hander.
I'm going to go get the violin out for Peaceful.
He's... If he had
If he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck.
That's the one. That's the one. He couldn't buy luck if he tried either, as well as...
Fury's made a mistake.
He must have done, yeah, 9 seconds. The gap Dan and Andy's still 14, but Andy now 4 seconds off the back, and Andy in the background has had a huge off. And the thing is, do you know the thing is? He's got to get back to get to the hairpin. This will put him a lap down. He's got to get to the hairpin. He's not crossed the Sector 1 timing beam. This could put Andy a lap down here.
I think he might be okay, because normally it would have put
No, we tried it the other night and it did it at the end of the lap to Smithy. This could put Andy a lap down. Andy could have just ruined his race by not getting back to the timing beam of Sector 1. Oh my days!
This is massive for the championship. Yeah, he has. Look at the gap. It's 1 minute 25.
Oh, he's gone a lap down. He's gone a lap down. He didn't get to that sector beam.
Yeah, he didn't cross the Sector 1 beam, so it still thinks he's in Sector 1, so Gary is going to be on for a podium here.
Gary's on for a podium. There we go, look, it's put him to 12th place. Peaceful is in the pits, and Andy, he's last, he's 12th. What has gone wrong here? He didn't get back to the Sector 1 timing beam. No force feedback, says Mike. His force feedback's cut out. That's why he's in the pits. He's lost all force feedback settings. That is strange for Mike in the Fanatec. That might be why we've seen him spin it. But the real talking point is Andy is 12th place. Gary is on the podium. This puts Kelly up to 6th. You could not script this championship. Jamie, with the point swing at the minute, Andy will score 4 points. Dan will score 25. That is a 21-point difference. They will be level pegging going into race 2 tonight.
Surely, Disco's 24 seconds up the road. Surely there's got to be the call now to let Andy through, because every point at this moment for Andy, after his monumental mess up, Disco has got to let him through.
Peaceful says it's been stopped working at the beginning of the race. Feel for Andy. He says, here comes Monkey Boy on Xmart. Is Xmart on the softs, and have them softs just gone off? Monkey Boy up the inside. Xmart has a bit of a wiggle. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots. Job done. Here comes Argent. Oh, wow. Biggs on the back of Kelly then. This is now for 6th place in the race. Lap 17 of 22. Sutty's just started to pull away from Kelly, lapping a bit quicker. Kelly 8/10 slower than Biggs the last time around. Biggs really in that slipstream of Kelly's as they come down to the final corner. No lunges from Biggs here then to get his way past like he did with X-Mod. Biggs flying at the minute. Oh, got past. Oh, we've lost Mike. Control is disconnected, can't rejoin. Right, Mike. Obviously, that'll go down as no points, but no problem. That won't go down as a retirement. I have had confirmation from Little Leach as well that it was his son that he's had to go and attend to, so he won't lose points there either. But I tell you what, that doesn't even give Andy a point.
No, it doesn't help Andy whatsoever, because Peaceful was behind him.
Peaceful was behind him, and Biggs now really on the back of Kelly. Kelly last lap of 22.6. Biggs at 21.3. Biggs is absolutely flying. Dan doesn't need to push, although he's gapped Fury to 14 seconds. Biggs just tapping the rear there, Jamie.
Yeah, he's looking for the bit. Gonna look for the big barge.
Yeah, Mike, we believe you. We know you're not one for retiring, so yeah. Send a picture, but yeah. Oh, Biggs is round! Wow, Biggs has dropped it on his own! That gives Kelly such a gap, and that could have really spoiled Biggs' tyres depending on what Biggs is running. You cannot ride this race at the minute!
You just got to be so consistent. Look at this man for consistency. Up in 6th place, because he's been one of the most consistent.
Biggs has had another spin. Biggs has had another spin in the background. Who's the next car? It's Monkey Boy. He is some 12 seconds behind, but Biggs, if he has done his tyres in, I tell you what, Monkey Boy could quickly catch up. Biggs has got to keep it going. Get them tyres to cool down a little bit. That takes so much pressure off of Kelly with 2 spins, though.
Oh yeah, he's 9 seconds up the road with
5 to go.
5 to go. Argent's onto the back of Xmart as well. He's one second off. He'll probably be in the passenger seat by the end of the straight.
What a race! Is that Dan lapping Andy?
No.
No.
Dan is on his own.
No, Dan is on his own. That's Fury then.
That is Fury, yeah, lapping Andy. So I bet Fury's going to be loving this.
I bet Andy's going to be absolutely hating it because 12th place is not great. Fury, little wiggle. And Gary's only 6.5 behind as they go on to lap 19. Gary here, tell you what, he could be sitting pretty. Fury did a 21.4. Monkey Boy has made a mistake. He's lost out to Argent, Exmart and Disco.
And he's 20 seconds down the race, so Andy's wanting Monkey Boy to make a mistake, so he can...
The problem for Andy is at the minute is Monkey Boy's on the lead lap, technically. Because Dan hasn't yet lapped him, so at the minute, he's got to unlap himself to catch Monkey Boy. Andy at this rate, in this stage of the game, I can't believe what we are witnessing here.
Yeah, this is... Wonder what it's going to do to Andy's mentality for race 2. Is he just going to have to go full balls to the wall and go for the win, or is he going to be calm and collected and try and just gain some points and go to Laguna Seca next week?
Well, the bonus thing for Andy is he can qualify for the next race. 14 drivers start this race, which means the top 7 can't qualify. So this now means that Andy will possibly take pole again, or could possibly take pole again, but be on the front row with Dan by the back. Maybe to extend that gap. Disco's off. Disco's off. Monkey Boy back through. That's P10 for Monkey Boy. And the 2 BMWs are struggling.
Yes.
Oh.
Slingshot Motorsport down second to last and last. Surely Disco's now going to slow it right down for Andy. He's, as much as Disco is in a relegation battle, and I think Andy really needs the points a bit more.
Where is Gary to Fury? That gap is 5 seconds. Gary is taking a second and 1.6 out of Fury every lap. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. He needs Fury to have a couple mistakes here. He'll start to see Fury, especially this part of the track, as Fury's at the hairpin coming up. Gary to the hairpin coming around. Gary's up on his best lap. There's Fury. Andy's unlapped himself from Fury here. So Fury, is he just starting to struggle then? Because Gary's coming at a rate of knots. Kelly's lap times are as quick as the cars in front. Kelly lapping fantastic here. Well, what will happen in this fight at the final end of this race? Xmart's down to 8th. Argent's gaining on him.
Yeah, you got Monkey Boy, the Solomon and Ferrari of Monkey Boy just in the background.
Oh, is that Argent had a bit of a sideways moment? No, he's collected it. But I tell you what, he was 8/10 to Xmart. He's now 1.2 seconds. So is Monkey Boy gaining on the back of that Merc? Let's see Argent through the left-hander. Nice and easy as it goes for Argent. Monkey Boy's coming at him, though. And Xmart into the hairpin. All this while Dan is catching. I tell you what, Dan might just stay behind these and leave these to battle. He doesn't need to lap them.
No, you could... I think I say it pretty much every week. You could get a newspaper out and just cruise home for the last 2 laps.
He pretty much could. Gary, a 1:19.2 last lap. That gap is just over 3 seconds to him and Fury. Gary is coming. And Gary is coming at a rate of knots here. 2 laps to go for them two. 3.5 seconds the gap, Gary to Fury. Fury has a mistake here. Gary could get up to P2. And Gary's trying to catch Fury in the championship for 3rd place at the minute. BT Targa P4 not really in this battle. He's got Fury, Sutty some 6 seconds behind. Sutty's got 8 seconds to KLF.
Look, Disco is 3 seconds. Yeah, look, Disco.
Yeah, slowing to let his teammate through.
Yep, the
team orders have come into play then.
Disco being the ultimate team player.
What a guy. What a guy. Honestly, what a guy. We start the last lap. He had a bit of a wiggle, a flash there from Andy to say thank you very much. Dan then on his merry way into turn 2. That battle just in front could get one more lap of this. Dan doesn't need to lap them at all. Gary to Fury is some 3 and a bit seconds, just over 3 seconds now. Gary's got to get the hammer down. I think Fury's just lapped Disco. That won't be what Gary wants, a car in between them. But here comes Dan. Look at Monkey Boy just in front, trying to get on the back of Argent.
I'll tell you what, Dan, what happened at Texas, where say for example, Argent loses it, and
this is why I think Dan would probably be better off just sitting behind this pack. He doesn't need to pass these at all. Monkey Boy in a fight. Dan would just be better bringing this one home. Monkey Boy then can have one last lap at attacking Argent, and Argent can have one last lap at attacking Xmart there then. As they come through the final part of this track, the gap Gary to Fury is just over 2 seconds, and Gary is coming, but is he running out of time? As Dan here in this first race looks like he's going to take the race win. It's going to be unorthodox 16 to come home with his 7th race win of the season, and it's Dan who takes round 1. What a blow to Andy that is. Here's Fury though for second place. He's got to get round the last corner. Fury has to make sure it sticks. We're going to see Andy come home for second place. Fury in the background though. A bit of a twitch. Where's Gary? Has Gary had a moment? Gary's had a moment. Where's BT? Fury crosses the line for P2. Can Gary get it going? He has, yes, just in time. Gary will get a podium there. What could have been maybe a second place turns out to be a podium. BT Targa's going to cross the line for P4. Here comes Sooty Apex ahead of his teammate. He could possibly. I tell you what, I think Sooty's been backing off because here comes Sooty and Kelly. And I may as well say it now, it's Kelly on double points. So is Sooty going to let Kelly through for them extra double points? Yes, he is. Kelly on double points will take the P5, and its teammates doing the honourable thing. Kelly 5th, Sooty 6th, Biggs a 7th place. What could have possibly been for him in this second race? He could have been sitting in 5th. He comes to the line for a P7. Oh my days, what a race we've had. Here comes an Xmart and Argent. Monkey Boy's just dropped off the back of these two. And it is going to be Xmart into the final corner. Kieran's gone deep. He'll want a patient on that power to get out the corner. He does now. Xmart, though, will take a P8. Looks like his tyres died towards the end. Argent for a P9. Monkey Boy for a P10. We had Andy and Disco for the end of that race there. But Jamie, who took the fastest lap of the race?
Looks like Fury. Yeah, I think it is Fury. He's taken fastest lap. 1:19.257.
Cracking lap there then from Fury to get a 1:19.257. What a stellar job for him. What a stellar job for Dan, for Kelly, and for Sooty Apex there then. It's for Dan, for Fury, Gary, and Kelly, who's on double points. BT Targa as well, taking an absolutely mega result in that first one. But Fury takes that extra bonus point away from Dan. We're going to be right back in about 5 minutes' time. Let me just go through as well just to double check. Yeah, it is Fury with the fastest lap. So that is game on in race 2. Top 7 cannot qualify. So Dan, Fury, Gary, BT, Kelly, Sooty and D-Biggs cannot qualify. Whereas Argent, Monkey Boy, Xmart, Disco, Andy, Little Each and Peaceful all can. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead. Far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead.
Of the evening, we've got the top three in the commentary box and a very special guest in Gary's little girl, Maya Leach, as well. So if you do hear any little babies in the background, that'll be her, no doubt. But we'll start with Gary. And Gary, that was a very up and down race one. You kind of seemed to be in every position at once there, but a great podium in the end nonetheless.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice to start. Now I've got the wheels set up properly. It's nice to start feeling the car again. And hopefully more podiums will come.
Pace last week at Long Beach, pace again tonight here. Good qualifying session from yourself as well. Trying to close down on Fury for that top three spot in the championship. And with BT Targa still to take his double points, that kind of gives you extra incentive to beat him and pull away.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just enjoying the rest of this season. Obviously, we ain't had a very good start. Like I said, had problems and etc. So we're just getting a foothold ready for next season.
Race 2, what can you do from by the back of the grid?
Win, hopefully, with a bit of luck. Like I said, I got the pace. I just didn't have a lot of luck on that first lap in that race. And yeah, hopefully we'll go all right this time.
Well, we wish you the best of luck and let you get back to it.
Lovely. Cheers, boys. Well done.
Cheers, buddy. We got Fury in as well. And Fury, good start from you in this first race. You got on the second row of the grid and you didn't look back after you got past all the carnage that happened in turn 1.
Kind of glad I managed to avoid all the stuff in turn 1. It was I just kind of stayed on the outside and watched it all unfold and tried to squeeze through any little gaps I could.
What you had pace of Dan early on in the race and you seemed to be able to stick with the back of Dan, but that sort of fell off towards the end and Gary was a bit of an issue, wasn't he, at the end of that race?
Yeah, the original plan was the hard tyres, but I seen the weather and it was a lot cooler than what I was testing in. So I went for a gamble, went for the softs, and they paid off at the start. And throughout the race, obviously, just bubbled and overheated and lost grip.
Yeah, he's like you say, they bubbled and overheated and lost grip. Is it hard then for race 2 with it looking a lot better, or what's the plan for race 2?
I'm gonna try the hard to race 2 because it's just this will just have no grip with the softs within like 2 laps.
Well, we wish you the best. Go on, sorry.
I was spinning tyres. I had Andy behind me, and I was drifting around a couple of corners, and he kept backing off. The car is not the best in its element at the moment.
What can you do though, race 2, buddy? No matter what tyre you're on, can you get another podium in this second race? You've got a challenge now to try and stay ahead of Gary and BT Targa. You've got to keep outscoring them. Can you do it?
Can only try. I know this isn't a Merc track, but all you can do is try.
Well, that's it. We wish you the best of luck, buddy. Go and get him.
Cheers, mate.
And we got Danny in the chat as well. And for a man to take his 32nd race win and only be 1 point behind Andy in the championship, I tell you what, you did everything you needed to in that first race.
Couldn't have gone more to plan than it did. And just like Fury said, I got caught out by the weather as well. Most of the practice session was on the hards and they weren't working. Switched to the softs, and next thing you know, we're in the 18s. I haven't touched the 18s at all this week, but next thing you know, we're doing 18-1s, and it's just so frustrated that Andy picked me at the end. Ollie.
Yeah, that 1 point then could have now made you tied with Andy in this race. You got the jump on him though at the start. You had a great getaway off the line. Andy seemed to get a bit bogged down. Did that give you confidence going into turn one, knowing that Andy wasn't side by side with you? You kind of had that breathing space going into the first corner.
Definitely not. After what happened at Long Beach, I'm more cautious of corners now, turn ones than ever, especially with the likes of Gary going sideways into turn one. Really makes you nervous. But I had the good jump. I don't know what happened. Andy must have bogged down or something, but he just didn't move. And it just, from that point, Fury was giving me a bit of pressure, but I knew his soft tyres wouldn't last as well as the McLaren's because it looks after its tyres a little bit better.
Race 2 then, temperatures are up. Same question for you as what I've just asked Fury. Is it hards or is it softs?
Track temp now is 43 degrees. If it stays like that in the race, then it's got to be hards, no matter what anyone think they can do. Unless you're Jamie and mad enough to change tyres in the race, then it's got to be hards all the way. But I think I'm starting near the back of the pack, so it's just keep my nose clean and come on through and try and pick off people and hope that Andy has another torrid round. But I do have to say a big shout out to my dad.
Yep.
What a start he had on lap one. Was up in third with us, and then he's come home in a P6, and solid stuff from him. I'm proud of him for that.
P5 in the end it was, as Sutty managed to let him through at the line. Dan, towards the end of that race, he was gaining on 3 back markers that was battling heavily. Was it stay behind them and let them fight because you didn't need to lap them at the end? Because it looked like he was getting closer and closer and they were still fighting.
Yeah, I was catching them quite rapidly, and then I saw they're fighting. I was on lap 21, and I was like, I'm just going to stay behind these boys. I don't need to pass them. Fury was 15 seconds behind. I did not need to get involved, so came home, took the points, and I was going to try to go for fastest lap near the end, but with that traffic in front, it wasn't worth it. So 25 points is what I'll take. So hey, there's 1 point between me and Andy now. It's game on and 3 rounds still to go. Let's go. And I hope Andy's ready for the fight. Yeah,
7 races left, Dan. Andy looks like he's probably going to get pole in this one to extend the gap to 2 points. Can you get him in that second race? What's the game plan?
Game plan, stay out of trouble. Keep my nose clean. See where we are after the first couple of laps. The car feels relatively good, especially I've set it to Long Beach setup, which was a shock. But we'll stay out of trouble, keep our nose clean, and Andy's going to be in the lead and gone by the first lap. It's just making sure he doesn't get too much of an advantage as we leave to go to Laguna.
Well, I wish you the best luck, Dan, and we'll see you in the see you later on, at least, hopefully, on the podium.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.
So the championship order then, Jamie, looks like this. Andy leads the way by 1 point with Fury second, 71 behind these two now. Gary, 131, is 116 behind, but he is only 45 off the back of Fury and has a chance here of really trying to do something in terms of catching up to the back of Fury. BT Targa, not on double points tonight. He is some 9 points behind Gary. And Gary got to try and extend his gap to BT Targa every chance he can. Xmart is in P6. He's on 156, 9 ahead of D Biggs, who outscored him in this race. Emo Guy drops to 8, stays 8th, but only just 4 points ahead of Sutty Apex, who had a great first race. He's up to 9th. He's in 9th place ahead of Argent, who only scored 4 points. Peaceful didn't score. That puts him nearly 20 points behind Argent. Monkey Boy, Argent is on double points, by the way, tonight as well. Peaceful in P11, Monkey Boy P12, he's on double points tonight. He's gone up to P12. He's on 93 points now. 3 points ahead of KLF 900, who is on double points as well. And after that, great P5 takes him out the relegation zone, where Maze Gamer, who's not here tonight, is on 88 points. Disco's on 86, and Little Leech on 81. It's still tight at the bottom between the bottom 5. Peaceful getting into that mix as well. But Jamie, the tables couldn't be getting tighter.
Oh yeah, so definitely a lot tighter with Vandy's massive mistake in the first race. Hope for him. Hopefully, he doesn't make the same mistakes in this one. Dan will be hoping otherwise. Only two. I was gonna say only 2 cars left out now in qualifying. I think these will just come back.
Yeah,
out.
someone's just come back out for one flying lap. The constructors table, Shake and Baker now 58 clear of Slingshot Motorsport. Sandbags Motorsport on 91 behind with Team Prolapse. They're only just behind Sandbags Motorsport, so they are coming for Fury and Emo Guy. The Leachy boys are trying to stick with them as well and gain as many points as possible. Audio Sport Prolapse go from the bottom of the pack to 8 points and 9 points clear of Forever Forward Racing and Simplay Racing as well. So they have outjumped them 2 teams there. In terms of who can't win the title, Biggs can no longer win it, neither can Emo Guy. Sutty, he says he can't, but still has double points to take, so mathematically could come back into this. Argent needs a better second race to mathematically be possible as well. Peaceful can't win it. Monkey Boy and Kelly could possibly come back into it with a good double points in this second race. Mace Gamer and Disco also have double points to take, so they could possibly come back. Little Leach is also out. No constructors are yet out the running for the constructors title. They might be by the end of this night. This is as it stands at the moment. Obviously things could change as Peaceful hits the wall, won't get a final run, so it is only Argent out there, and this will be his final run of qualifying before Jamie takes you through the grid order. But Jamie, it's all getting to the business end of this season now, and championships are starting to hot up.
Oh yes, definitely starting to hot up. This is where the two at the front, Andy and Dan, are going to start feeling the pressure. Know the feeling coming on doing your practice. Just knowing that you've got to be quick in practice. Every lap now for them two is going to feel like the last lap of the season.
Yeah, it is. Andy has got to make sure he can put Dan under some pressure here by scoring some good points in this second race to build that gap. The gap is currently at 1 point. Andy looks like he's got pole as Kieran crosses the line and won't take pole. So it looks like Andy's going to have the pole position then. And yes, he does. So that's another point. Ardent actually went up to second there. 1.1 off the back of Andy. But Jamie, talk us through this grid.
So pole position for the second time tonight is Andy in his BMW. Second place is Argent. Third place, Exmart in McLaren. Fourth place, first of the Ferraris of Peaceful Explosion. Second, BMW of Disco facing fifth. First of the Leach Motorsport Porsches in sixth. Then Monkey Boy in seventh, last of the qualifiers. Then first of the non-qualifiers is KLF 900 in eighth. Then Gary 131 in ninth. Sutty Apex in 10th. Fury in 11th. BT Tiger in 12th, D Biggs in 13th, and Unorthodox in 14th. So we've got the championship leader at the front of the field, and the man 2 points behind him at the back. So Shake and Baker on the back row.
Here they are. So there is your front row of the grid as the BMW now takes its 27th pole position and its 26th in the Pro Series. That then is row 2 of Peaceful Explosion and Xmart in third. Row 3 is Disco and Little Leach 5th and 6th. Row 4 is Monkey Boy and KLF in 7th and 8th. Row 5 is Gary and Gary and Sutty in 9th and 10th. Row 6 is Fury and BT Target 11th and 12th. And row 7 at the back, D Biggs and Unorthodox. What will be going through his head, Jamie Brazier, at this stage as they get ready to tweak final bits or to adjust the fuel strategies, adjust the pit strategies? What will be going through this man's head, and what will be going through Andy's head?
And Andy will be thinking he needs to make right now. He'll be thinking, I need to get away off the line this time. I know Dan is going to be thinking, right, just pick my way through slowly but surely. He's already cut Andy's lead all the way down. So even if he comes away from here with a 5th place, he's cut Andy's lead all the way down. So it's pretty much job done already for Now he just needs to keep it on the track for this one.
The thing is here, Jamie, is if Dan comes away 15 points or even 10 points behind Andy in the championship, he still cut that championship gap. He came to Ruapuna 20 points behind. If he comes away anything less than 20, he's gained over Andy in this race. So do you take that as a win? Because surely you have to going into Laguna Seca next week. If you've cut that gap from 20, no matter what it is, you've surely got to be looking at that as a positive. We'll get the answer from that in just a moment as the lights are going to come on. The revs rise. Can Andy get off the line? He's alongside Arjun. It's green for round 18. He does get away this time. It's very equal from him and Arjun on the front row of the grid. But look at Disco, Peaceful and Exmore in the background. They're also trying to come and make havoc. Here comes Arjun right around the outside. Has he got Andy done under the brakes? Disco's off. Disco's wide. Arjun's round. Exmore's dropped in on his own as well. Wow, Exmore on his own. And Disco, what has happened there?
I think D-Biggs tried near enough took on Orthodox off there. I saw the two McLarens coming together.
Oh, and that's contact between Dan, Kelly and Peaceful. Dan's off.
No, that's D-Biggs.
Oh, it is D-Biggs. Apologies. I thought that was Dan who'd gone off. Dan still on the track then. Him, Kelly and Peaceful made contact 3 abreast into the left-hander. And D-Biggs is down to 14th place now. But Dan away relatively scot-free. He's got Sutty on the back of him. Gary, what a start from him. He's up to 2nd.
Yeah, so Andy will be pleased with himself that he's got away. But as soon as he sees that Orthodox and Gary are in second and 5th, he's going to be less than happy because he knows Gary can definitely give him a challenge for the win, and he's got Fury in 3rd.
Yeah, Fury 3rd and BT Targa in 4th as well, so they're all quick guys in this top 5 at the minute, and Dan will be coming to hunt down BT Targa, Fury and Gary, but Gary could be on for this race win. He's already pulled 2 tenths back on Andy at the end of this one. Damage to D-Biggs maybe at the back of the pack. He's some way down already off the bat. Look at who's coming through the last corner. Who's in the pits? That's Kelly. He's going to have to pit again here.
There's somebody off.
This is a drive-through. I think Kelly's got a drive-through.
We'll see. Kelly comes through.
He's jumped the start. There.
Oh.
Poor KLF after a great race 1. He's jumped the start race 2. And look at this now. Gary on the back of Andy here.
That BMW just doesn't look like... I wonder whether the tyres are starting to go off already.
Yeah, he's struggling, isn't he? He's really, really struggling here, and he's something just doesn't look right here. As Peaceful to the back of the pack again before Kelly. Just putting the chat sick of this. I presume he's been bumped out again. And Gary is putting that Beamer under pressure here, Jamie. Just looks a bit more confident.
Yeah, so he's sitting just behind. He's close enough to Andy just to force an error. Turn, but then again, Fury's is close enough to force an issue of Gary.
He is indeed, as they come out the final corner. Andy just stretching his legs over Gary out the final corner. 1.5 seconds to gap is now. But let's see if Gary can put Andy under some pressure here. Gary, take the 2nd place. Don't ruin him, you'll spin it. He says, as Little Each must have had a mistake somewhere. Peaceful's got past. And Peaceful up to P12 now. So Biggs the car ahead of Peaceful, and then it's Disco, Monkey Boy, Exmar, Argent down to 7th. Where's Dan's progress? He's on the back of BT Targa here, and BT Targa will make this difficult for him to get past.
Oh yeah, BT will make is a very tough cookie to crack, but if anyone knows how to get past someone, it's definitely unorthodox.
Yeah, Dan, the 2 times champ, can he get ahead of BT Targa? Or what will he do as they come through the middle sector of the lap? Gary just dropping back from Andy a little bit more. Fury kind of in no man's land between them all at the moment. So Gary just dropping off the back of Andy. Andy just maybe starting to get tyres into a good window and into a groove. Oh, BT.
Yeah, BT's letting through.
That is a strange one there. BT lets Dan through them. Interesting one there.
Yeah, so they must be in the same party together.
No, I think Dan likes a party with just him and Biggs in the chat. Gary has dropped that far back. He's got Fury on the back of him. So Gary coming under some pressure from Fury now.
Let's look at the last lap. 1:19 from Andy. A 1:20.8.
Oh, yeah. Gary had a bit of a shocker there, look, didn't he? Dan even in the 19s as well. So here come the boys. What tyre is Gary on compared to the others, I wonder? This is the big question. It is a bit warmer. Look, it does look a bit brighter through Ruapuna Park, because if it's just brightening up. Kelly some 15 seconds off the back of Little Leach at the minute with his drive-through penalty. Here's Argent trying to catch Sooty Apex. Needs a better second race here. Had a bit of a dismal first one.
I was going to say, Argent doesn't take a lot of that corner. You see yourself and Unorthodox take quite a bit of that corner to try and maximise the speed, but Argent doesn't want to go near that corner at all.
No, he doesn't seem to be wanting to get near any of the curbs. Look how far away he's staying from all the curbs here. He does not want to flirt with them in any single way.
Perhaps he's allergic to them.
Yeah. I mean, look, he didn't even take the run off there. I mean, I had two wheels on that run off there all night. I was cutting this bit here. Look, two wheels on that, fine. Yeah, does he take the exit curb here? Because that was the line on the exit curb. Not much, does it? No. Doesn't take a lot of that curb. He's actually gained on Sooty, though. Gary, the first man in.
So Unorthodox can now set his sights on Fury, because he can see Andy trying to disappear up the road.
Sooty Apex is in as well, so he follows Gary in. That'll release Argent. There is Monkey Boy with Disco on the back of him. Does anybody else pit? Peaceful comes in as well.
Disco looking for the move into zone 1. Doesn't get the move.
Ooh, forcing it. Bit of a contact between the two. They're still side by side on the exit of the corner. Who's that behind them? That is D-Biggs just behind them. And Monkey Boy looks like he's just going to stretch in front, but has to yield as Disco still has a call. And a wiggle from both. And that puts Monkey Boy off onto the grass. That'll surely give D-Biggs a place. Yes, it does. And a huge wiggle there. Kelly didn't pit. I thought Kelly would have pitted there to try and recover his race towards the end. He has made a mistake because Dan's got past him and BT Targa's got past him as well.
Yeah, so where's Dewey made that mistake? Has he lost it at the hairpin?
Well, all will be revealed soon, I'd imagine. But yeah, interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, so I wonder whether he's now going to be able to just stretch his legs and be able to get past. He's gone a bit wide out the final corner. He looks
a bit. Yeah, just can't seem to get the traction down. Argent's up to 5th now after the first round of pit stops, and he'll be on his merry way. But Andy leads from Dan now. 6 seconds separate the top two. He comes back up the inside and has a look on BT Targa. X-Mart into the pit at the end of lap 5.
Yeah, BT a little bit wide. That's a little bit.
Yeah, a bit of a wiggle. Fury backs out of that one, and into the left-hander they come now, and wow, all over the curb there, and that is not where you want to be, because that can really unsettle the car. Gary up to 10th. X-Mart not yet on his way out the pits, and Sooty will go past as well for P11. And here comes KLF and Peaceful. Kelly still not pitting. X-Mart just coming out the pits now. Peaceful down in 14th, but Kelly still to pit. Here comes X-Mart. Will Kelly get past X-Mart then? You see the dots on the track map. I think Kelly has got past. Yep, that's job done there in that one. Dan, under about the same time to Andy, 6 seconds. But BT to Fury is as close as can be. And Dan's teammate and Andy's teammate, Biggs and Disco, having their own little fight for P7 and 8. Oh, Disco's made a mistake. And is that going to allow D-Biggs through? Andy's in the pits.
Oh. Biggs gone wide. This is going to give an opportunity back to Disco.
Don't think Disco's taken it, has he? I think Disco's settled to keep that behind D-Biggs. Andy in the pits then. Good stop. He's already away.
Already on the way out.
So that's a good stop from Andy. Where's he going to feed out, though? Is it just ahead of his teammate and D-Biggs? It is, yes. He's back up to speed now.
He's already ahead. He's way ahead of them.
Yeah, Monkey Boy in the pits at the end of lap 6.
Got the 2 Leach Motorsport Porsches that have just streamed past him.
Yeah, the Little Leach still to pit. Gary on after his very, very early stop, going till the end now, you'd imagine. Choosing to pit as early as possible and go to the end. And here he comes behind his brother. And bottom of the table, Little Leach now at the minute. X-Mart trying to gain on the back of KLF, who looks like these guys should get past Monkey Boy. The question is, will Peaceful get past Monkey Boy? There's Kelly, there's X-Mart.
There's Monkey Boy.
Yeah, not done it.
Kelly might get him.
No. As we stand there. Oh, Peaceful's dropped the rear. Oh, no, he's held it. But he's lost a lot of time. X-Mart on the back of Kelly here, struggling to get past. And got a bit close to the back of him there, didn't he? Nearly tapped the rear.
Oh, he's a lot later on the brakes than Kelly. BT's into the pits.
BT in then at the end of lap 7. X-Mart a lot later than Kelly on the brakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's just a confidence in the McLaren that Kelly's not got compared to X-Mart.
You can see, even in these corners, which are corners you just that are just not very good overtaking opportunities. He's having a look.
Kelly always says that they're like, when we used to commentate together, they're like a hurry up and wait corner. Where you want to get the power down, but you just can't. BT Target has been jumped by Gary. Gary's got ahead of his teammate as well. And Sutty didn't get the jump on BT Target. So Gary's back in front of BT after the first round of stops. Big's out the pits. Won't lose out to these cars behind. I think Kelly's coming in.
Yep,
yes, he is. So Kelly here after his great first race. Got that drive through and it's kind of ruined his second race here. But Gary ahead a little each and jumped BT Targa. So Gary at the minute 27 seconds behind Dan. You know, could he keep that pressure on Orthodub? So Dan needs a better stop to come out ahead of Gary. We'll have to keep our eyes on when Dan pits.
Yeah, I was going to say, in regards to KLF, if he does what he did in race 1, just keep it on the track, he might find himself gaining a few position saves.
Well, he's about to be a lap down to his son, I think. Little Each very wide there, and he held on to that, so well done to him. Argent in the pits at the end of lap 8.
Disco's coming in.
Disco in as well. Right, so Gary will get the jump on these two. Does Little Each choose to pit? He does.
Argent's on the move.
Little Each choose to pits as well. Gary gets past them all and up into P4. So he's behind Andy, which he was anyway. He's only 24 seconds off the back of Fury. And he's 27, 28 off the back of Dan. Gary here is in a position where he could gain that place over Dan. Little Each to Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy and X-Mart exit the final corner. Little Each only just moving now. Could Peaceful be involved in this Little Each fight? I don't think so. No, too far back.
But then he'll be up to speed. Little Each up to speed now. No, he's going to be a long way ahead. Peaceful can just see him up ahead, and there'll probably be a little tear in Peaceful's eye as he sees the Porsche drive off in the distance.
Not quite sure why we're having problems. Hopefully it gets better soon and fixes itself. What I'll do is I'm just going to lower the quality because I've just saw PM Motorsport's
Fury's coming to the
comment there.
Those two chicane, or that chicane in the pit lane, that's really, really tricky, especially if you come in a bit too quick.
Good stop. Good stop. Hopefully that fixes the issue for you guys out there. Where's Gary? Has he got past? No, he hasn't. Nowhere near. So that's a positive for Dan if Dan has a good stop.
Yeah, look, you can see Gary's all the way back there. Fury's already at turn 1. Sutty's all staring at the back of Argent's Mercedes. Argent went a little bit wide there.
I'm not quite sure what is happening to the stream. It is a bit laggy at the minute. I'm not sure why. So I do have to apologise for that.
Sutty takes a lot of care of big turn 2, and look how much closer he's got to Argent through there, because Argent doesn't take too much.
Argent's jumped Sutty here by going longer.
Ooh.
I'm not sure what is happening to the stream here.
Sutty's going for a move.
No, not going to get it done. Dan's in.
I think there was a little tap on the rear there. Sutty's going to have another go. Where is Dan going to come at? Looked like a bit of a long stop, and he's now coming past. Where's Fury in regard? Fury's now coming into the final corner. Dan should be up to speed now.
Yeah, Dan should be back up to speed. He's lost out to Andy as normal. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out why the stream is laggy at the minute. Not quite sure why. Just carry on chatting through, Jamie.
Yep, Disco is still behind D-Diggs. I think he's been staring at the back of that McLaren for quite a few laps. Can't get away from you. Little each only just over half a second behind Monkey Boy, so needs to make that move. Kelly 16 seconds behind Peaceful, so not quite there to capitalise on if Peaceful makes a mistake or anyone else. Little each trying to find a way past this Ferrari by any means, and so it all goes a bit wide there. Monkey Boy took a lot of curb.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why this is now started to lag out.
I think that's Disco. Disco's made a mistake.
Oh, what has happened to Disco? And he's down to 10th. Is that Monkey Boy for 11th? Yes, it is. That is also Little Each for 11th place. Can Peaceful get him for 12th? No, he can't. He's just a bit too far back. That plays into hand of Peaceful and Kelly.
Oh, Disco's off again.
Oh, he's off again. 2 seconds, Jamie.
Yep. He's lost out to Bargent in the pit stops and can't get back through. Disco keeps making these mistakes, which he is. KLF could get him. Look, there's Kelly. Disco's just in front. So is Kelly going to get Disco here for a point position? Disco keeping it on the track for now. Ooh, that looks like Sutty and Argent side by side. Sutty trying it there again. It's not really a place where you can make a move. Sutty's lost out on.
Okay, I think it's sorted. The red bars have gone off my screen now. Oh, sorry, Jamie, to cut you off there. The red bars have gone off my screen now. So chat, let us know if that's sorted it. I believe that may be done and back up to speed now. Sorry, Jamie.
Oh, yeah, he's come back on quite safely there. So he loses out on the position to D-Big. D-Big's after trying so hard to get that position back from Argent. Little each second, just over a second behind Monkey Boy now. Deep keeps it all nice and tidy, unlike there's not too many battles on the track, is there, Matt?
No, there isn't too many battles on the track, Jamie. And again, I don't know what the problem is. Again, I've got the red bars back. I'll have to chat with Andy after he says bit rate, so I'll have to chat with Andy and see if that's done it right. I think it's back now, but we'll have to leave it as it is for the time. I'm not going to touch anything else. If you can hear me, back out and reload it and see if that does the job. But we look like we're back to the action. Sorry about that, chat. And Jamie, Sutty made the mistake. Disco's had a few mistakes, which has brought Kelly into play. And that kind of will help Kelly on his double points tonight to get ahead of Disco and pull ahead of him in the championship.
Yeah, say Kelly can make at least one position. He gets double whatever.
Oh, now what's happened to Andy? Because that gap's gone from 5 seconds to 2.9. Dan trying to get on the back of Andy here.
123.1 last lap, so
yeah.
The only person who's even no way he's being horrible to Kelly, but he was slower than Kelly last lap.
Yeah, and Kelly struggling in this second race. I wonder if them temperatures going up for Kelly is what's done it for his soft tyres.
I wonder what Andy still running the soft tyres?
Possibly so. Was he running the soft tyre? I'm not sure what we saw from him.
I think Little H has got past Peaceful here.
Little Each was P11 earlier anyway, so yeah. Again, it's gone to red bars. Again, chat, apologies. I'm not sure what is happening. Skipped over 30. Right, okay. I'm not sure what is happening here, Jamie, but either way, we've got a race on here.
Oh, who's that round? Is that Andy?
No.
No, it's Disco.
It's Disco. He's lost out to Kelly. He's lost out to Kelly then. We have an echo now, says, I'm not sure why you've got an echo. I've not got it loaded twice, so I'm not sure why you've got an echo. I really don't know what's going off here, chat, so I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, that was a little bit scary then for Andy. His teammate came back on the track. He nearly collected his teammate. That's not what he'd have wanted.
And Disco's behind Dan now as well, so that's Dan safe. But look at the top 4. They're separated by 9 seconds here. Lap 15 of 22. Everybody's done their pit stops, and we're back with an absolute bang here. And these boys, it's going to be interesting to see what they can do in the final part of this race.
Yeah, so the fastest person last lap was Fury. He was a second quicker than the likes of North Dubs and Andy. I think he was a second quicker than Gary as well. So Fury could find himself on the back of Dan fairly soon if he keeps up this pace.
Good pace from Fury. He's got to get past Disco with Disco Face. There's Gary in the background as well. Arjun having a better second race here in P6 at the moment, so he's going some great guns so far. And he's looking a lot better value for his money at the minute.
Yeah, he is. Fury's just got to negotiate the back marker of Disco McDisco. But the thing is, Disco's giving him a lovely toe down the straights.
Yeah, he is. Nice toe down the straights, bringing him into play compared to Dan and Andy once again. He was up on his Delta time, and he's up again. 119.2 for Fury. Gets past Disco. So Fury, within 4 seconds now. 2 seconds off the back of Dan and 4 seconds off the back of Andy. Fury starting to come into this one.
Yeah, he is. He's a second quicker than the two in front of him again.
Again, chat, I'm not quite sure what is going off here. Internet all fine. Nothing's really running on the PC. It's YouTube doing YouTube things. Maybe Google is having an issue. It possibly is the YouTube end side of things, because I'm not sure what is happening here. But Fury is coming for this top 4. Gary's trying to get another podium here as well. Wants to catch Fury, but at the same time needs to stay in front of BT Targa. Any battles happening elsewhere, Little Each and Peaceful are pretty close together. Let's just go back and see them. That's just over a second. So them boys are wanting to get to each other.
Yeah, people could just smell the back of that Porsche. That's trying to lure him in. The Little Each is trying to break the toe and get away. I think it's the leaders just behind as well.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that is the leaders just lapping KLF. Andy just putting a lap on Kelly. And Kelly on the inside of Andy there. So not obliged to get out the way, let's not forget. He doesn't have to move out the way.
No, he's not.
But doesn't have to, let's not forget, can't block the drivers. So he doesn't have to move, but he can't block Andy here. Andy not quite close enough yet. It seems Facebook has the same issues with their lives as well. Andy to the outside. Kelly has that inside line. And
I was going to say, it's not really blocking.
No, it's not a block. Yeah.
He's driving his lines. He's not exactly coming on to
Fury in the background. Look on the back of Dan. We'll go back to that one in a minute, though, because Kelly here, this middle sector's a bit of a tough ass, so I wonder if it's just YouTube and Facebook then, because Fury's mum said that Facebook's having an issue as well. Andy clipped to the back of Kelly, had a bit of a wiggle there, and now, bit of a squeeze from Kelly there. Now Andy side by side. Dan has a wiggle in the background. Kelly still making things hard for Andy here, and that is job done from Andy, but that would have been a nervous time for him there, and that would be an absolute, a bit of a wiggle. Dan's so far out wide, and here comes Fury once again as well.
Yeah, I imagine KLF will make it fairly easy for North Dubs. There he goes, look, he's pulled to the inside. Lets him through. And here comes Fury. Oh, there's nearly. Ever so nearly there was contact. Nearly
to the back of Kelly. Fury all over the back of Dan. Dan within a second of Andy now. Andy's got to get his head down and has got to get his head away from Andy and from Dan and Fury. But Fury putting Dan under pressure. So Kelly trying to hold Andy up. Mike moves well out the way. He's had a disappointing night. Kelly's going to be on the back of him for another place. And Fury here, look, right on the back of Dan. Dan's got to try and attack Andy, but at the same time, he's having to defend from Fury as well. And Fury making life so difficult for these boys at the minute. Yeah, I think we're back properly now. I'm not too sure. I've got the green lights on my screen, so I'm not touching anything. So I think we are back, but it does seem to be YouTube and Facebook is having a problem. But, sorry, Jamie, what was you going to say?
Yeah, Dave Fury's going right for North Dubs because North Dubs just wants to focus on Andy. I'm pretty sure if Fury wasn't there, North Dubs would be straight on Andy. But I think the North Dubs is really struggling.
He's wide. He's wide. Does this give Fury a run? Whoa, Dan back on track and does the old duffing chop, as he says. Fury jinx left, jinx right. Up the inside. Great manoeuvre from Fury. And Dan could do nothing about this. Tried the famous duffing chop, as he named it, on Fury as he ran wide. And I tell you what, Fury made that move absolutely beautifully.
Yeah, he sent him an absolute dummy.
What a manoeuvre.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant manoeuvre. Now they're going to try and get past Andy.
They have got to try and get past Andy. And I tell you what, Dan does not want to see a car in between him and Andy, because that now will open the gap up to 12 points. Dan would have made 8 points tonight over Andy if it stays the way it does at the moment. Fury, great drive from second place at the minute, but he's not done yet. He can get the same 22 race wins as you and be on 22 career race wins at Simplay, like yourself, Jamie, and he is going for it.
Yeah, he's well and truly pushing really, pushing really hard for this win. He's either push too hard though and make a mistake.
The Fury massive, loving the move that Fury's just pulled on Dan there. And can he get past this BMW? It's been tricky to get past. And he's got more traffic of the Ferrari of Monkey Boy just ahead. Kelly trying to get past Peaceful in the background. That gap's just over a second. Monkey Boy pulls to the inside. He's got to be careful here. I think he's took to the grass. That is a sensible move for Monkey Boy. Gets back on and can get away now. Dan is starting to lose time. That's a little each that's round. That'll give Monkey Boy Peaceful, Kelly and Xmart another position. Look, he's even got to wait for his brother to get past. Little Each has lost a lot of time there.
Yeah, he has. Kelly left another position, no sir. Another position. More points in his relegation.
Yeah.
battle.
0.4 of a second Fury gained over Andy on that last lap. There's 3 laps left to go. Fury is dropping Dan, and Fury's Mercedes is coming alive here. Dan looks like he's struggling, as did Andy there. Here comes Fury within 0.4 of a second. He's right on the back of Andy now, and Dan needs to use these two fighting to get back on the front of this pack. Dan would have gained points over Andy on the night, but at the minute Andy still will have that upper hand in this championship. Here comes Fury on the back of Andy at the middle sector in the wiggly twisty bits, but this is where Fury did all the hard work to stay behind Dan and get a good run into that final corner. Here they come then through the sector 2 timing beam in a minute. Fury, Dan and Andy all separated by 1.5 seconds. What a fight this is in race 2. Here comes Fury now. Can he get close enough to Andy at the last corner? Dan in the background is struggling to keep it on the road at the minute. Has a huge wiggle, and Fury now is really on the back of Andy. No pressure from behind. We've lost BT. What a shame.
Yeah,
Andy's just clipped the wall! Andy's clipped the wall and Fury's through! He leads on lap 20! Just starting 21! Dan could have a run at Andy here, but he's just too far back.
Yeah, he's way too far back. He's going to try on these last 2 laps to get past it. Gary's too far back to pressure, way too far back to pressure on North Dubs.
Was BT Targa running 5th in that race? So if he can prove to us that he lagged out or something, it won't go down as a retirement against his name. But I tell you what, that gives Argent more points on double bubble, as it does for Monkey Boy. KLF will score an 11th place for his double points as well. What a night. Get your votes in the chat for who you think is driver of the day. And I tell you what, I've got to vote for mine already because he's had a cracking night's worth of racing. But Dan here, can he get on the back of Andy? That gap is just over 1 second. Can Andy get back on the rear of Fury then? Fury has driven a fantastic end to this race.
Yeah, Fury is an absolute...
Who's that? That's Sutty. That is Sutty Apex. Well off. Where's Xmart? Just coming into turn 1 now.
He's had contact with DD.
Oh, yes.
Off away.
Well, what happened there then was both off. Not too sure. Dan again wide. Andy's
BMW's come back alive in his last 2 laps.
Oh, BT Target gets back in. What a shame then. So it must have been a disconnection for him, so that won't go against him then. If he's got back in, it must have been a lag for him. But I tell you what, here comes Andy. He's going to make this hard. 1 lap to go. He looks to the inside and Fury keeps his cool. Turns in. He's got 1 lap to hold Andy at bay. And 1 lap to keep this race lead and equal yourself, Jamie, on 22 race wins apiece. And you cannot... I tell you what, he's pulled off 2 great moves to take the lead of this race. He's had a fantastic drive. Fury into the hairpin.
He's done absolutely Fury drive the second half of the race. He's been absolutely unstoppable.
Kelly has got past Peaceful then and gone into P10 here. So Kelly's gained an extra place. Peaceful right on the rear of him.
He's got Monkey Boy just ahead as well, so he could get 9th here.
He could get 9th. Monkey Boy and Kelly both on double points as well. Let's go back to the front though, as they're coming through the middle sector. 1, 2, 3. First, second and third. Gary, shame he's not had the pace to be with these boys, but who could begrudge this man? Little deep. How's the nerve? Smithy saying driver of the day for Fury, and Emplava says Fury for driver of the day. Andy had a massive wiggle. Does that invite Dan in? Last corner. You've got to get round it nice and easy. Here comes Fury. He looks safe and sound. So does Andy, but we saw Andy clip the wall. A wiggle for Fury, and he's going to come to the line, and it's going to be his 22nd race win of the season for Fury. Andy takes second place. Great podium for him. Dan gets third. Jamie, you're going to have to get Andy in the chat. Gary gets a 4th place. What a job for him. 5th place then for this man Argent. Not yet though, because he's not at the line. Squeaky bum time again, says Laura, and indeed so. That's a really battered Little Each in the background.
He's got past D Biggs as well.
He has got past D Biggs. So that a fight to the end. Argent to the line. Then let's go back to Sooty D Biggs fight. Let's see these battle to the line.
Yeah, we'll just see Argent across.
Yeah, good stuff for Argent. And P5 in race 2. I'm sure he'll take that one. Here's Sooty. Looks like he's got that one done, if anything, over D Biggs.
Yeah, he's good at it.
Kelly's got Monkey Boy. I can tell you what, Kelly has got Monkey Boy here. They're done. So let's go back to Sooty then. So Kelly a P9. Sooty's going to get a 6th. D Biggs a 7th. Xmart in the background's going to come across for a P8. Good points for him. But Kelly has done...
And Disco's coming into the pits, don't know why.
That's a strange one. But Kelly has done Monkey Boy at the end there. So, Jamie, get Andy in and we'll have a chat.
Yep.
Who took the fastest lap of the race? That's the biggest question as well. Disco got 13th place in that one. No points for BT Target at the end of that one. X-Smart came across in P8. Gary...
Looks like it goes to Fury again.
Fury with the fastest lap again. That's a good job for him. Have you got Andy coming in yet? Yeah, Andy's in. Right, so we just wait for the top 3 to come in. Little Each got a 12. Sorry, just doing the results because I didn't want to do it because the lag we was experiencing. 11th for Peaceful, 10th for Monkey Boy. Sooty came across for 6th in the end. Kelly got a 9th. Good results for him tonight. Argent come across for a 5th. There was no Maze Gamer. Fury took the win and the fastest lap of the race. So then, who's just joined the party as well? Who've we just got in there, Jamie? We've got Andy in. We've got it's Dan in as well. So we are just waiting Fury. Just while we do these championship standings, Fury's here as well. I just heard his little voice. No, Andy's in. Andy's in as well. We're just going to go through the championship standings then. Andy leads the way, 7 points the gap to Dan. Then, so Dan does close that gap after race 1. Andy just manages to extend by 6 points in the end. Fury, 66 behind. He's still in this title fight and he's trying to bring it closer to the top 2. Gary 4th. He's still in it as well. BT Targa still to take double points, 16 off the back. Xmark cannot now win it. He's in P6. He's 10 points clear of D Biggs. Argent on double points night goes up to 8th on 136. He now can't win it. Sooty on P9. He's still got his double points to take. He'll have to take them next week, as will BT Targa. He's on 130. Emo Guy drops to 10th. He's on 124. Peaceful 11th, 113. Monkey Boy on double points night goes to 105. Kelly 13th place on 104. Good double nights for KLF 900. Disco then down on 89. He'll have to use his double points next week, as will Maze Gamer in P15 and Little Each 16th place on 85. The Constructors title looks like Shake and Bake lead the way by 58 from Slingshot Motorsport. Sandbags Motorsport are 89 behind. Team Prolapse are in 4th, 129 off the back. Leech Motorsport are 189 off the back. Audio Sport Prolapse 10 clear of Forever Forward Racing, and they've jumped 6 clear of Simplay Racing. All teams can still win the Constructors fight at the minute. And Dan, we'll start with you. What happened at the end of that race? Because Fury pulled an absolute blinder on you.
The McLaren hates hard tyres. Hates it. That's basically what happened. I ran out of grip and, yeah. I couldn't catch... Fury caught me really quickly, and I just thought there's no point fighting him. He had pace, so if I let him go, he could catch Andy. Those two have a squabble and possibly catch Andy out. But I was just losing traction towards the end, and it was just difficult sticking to the back of them, let alone race them. So I just thought third place would do. 7 points between me and Andy. Couldn't ask for a better round this round.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better round. 7 points, like you said, kind of got the job done in race one with with the race win and Andy's problems. But does that now put pressure on you at 7 points? Or is the pressure sort of eased a little bit going into next week?
I would say now there's going to be 2 tracks that will benefit Andy, and there'll be 1 that will benefit me. So I've done the hard work here at Ruapuna. I think he might have the edge on me at Laguna. Nürburgring will be more my suited circuit, and then I think Spa will be his again. But I'm doing everything I possibly can. In the Porsche, it possibly would be a different story, but in this McLaren, I'm still learning it even at this point. Now I'm learning that hard tyres are horrid on this thing. So it's not going to bode well when we go to Laguna next week.
No, I'm going to say a hard tyre track at Laguna Seca, sunny California weather. That's not boding well for you then next week.
No, but you know me, Matt. I'll find a way to tweak and adjust the McLaren so it's at least competitive. And yeah, I've caught Andy out this week, and just got to keep that momentum going. Regarding the teams, me and Big's constantly scoring well and extending the gap on them. So far, so good, but long way to go still.
Yeah, your 32nd race win tonight and a third place. Like you say, it's great points for yourself. The team's championship for you and Biggs, is that still in the back of your mind? Or are you sort of more focused on the driver's title?
I'm more focused on Andy. I know Andy has... I know I have to win every race to beat Andy. So if I'm winning every race, the team championship goes with it. So I want to finish this season being the first to hit 3 times. But teams is definitely in there as well. 3 times constructors would be amazing as well. So just trying to drag this McLaren home.
Well, just finally as well, we spoke last week off air that you could have taken the record off of Fury if you'd have won every race of the season. You can now equal Fury's record, but can't take it off of him. I don't think that's something you're too focused on, but I just thought I'd make you aware.
Definitely not. I can't remember what the record is for the pros, so I'm just aiming for that one, to be honest.
Eight. You're on 7, and the record is 8 wins in a season.
Which was held by myself, Jamie, and Gary, if I remember.
No, just yourself and Jamie.
Oh, so, yeah. I have to beat that to beat Andy. So, and I've got to say, Andy, I've been loving racing you this season, mate, and I'm looking forward to these last few rounds. Circuits that we know and cars that are going to push us to the edge. So, guys, make sure you stay in, because qualifying is just exactly the same as the gap that we're in now. Then
I agree. We both know these next 2 tracks really well, so definitely going to be close.
Yeah.
Well, well done.
Everything out.
Well done tonight, Dan. We wish you the best of luck. Oh, we've just lost Andy. Hopefully we can get him back in. Well done tonight, Dan. We wish you the best luck for next week. Hopefully we can get Andy back in. So we will go to Fury then. And Joe, what a race win, mate. That was 2 great moves you pulled on Andy, especially the one on Dan. And that's a way to get to 22 race wins and tie yourself for 2nd overall race wins here.
Just glad I was able to stick the hard tyres on and make them work, considering there was more slidiness and drifting than there was with the softs towards the end.
Like you say, the hard tyre, definitely the right choice. Do you kind of wish you'd gone that way in race 1 now?
Oh yeah, 100%. If I realised the hards were like that, I would have gone with them for race 1.
The move you pulled on Dan, it looked like Dan sort of come back on in front of you as he had a wiggle off track. A bit of a Davis chop, if you will. Yeah, that's right. I went there. Bit of a Davis chop, if you will, onto the circuit. But you jink left, jink right, back up the inside. That was a cracking manoeuvre. Just talk us through that one.
It was a split decision of, do I wait for the straight or do I go for it there knowing that the gap's there? I went for the gap, knowing Dan is a respectful driver as well. Went for the move, he gave me the room, and I managed to keep it stuck. I managed to pull away.
You're still on the back of Dan and Andy, some 60-odd points behind. You're mathematically in it, or is your fight to try and keep Gary and BT Targa at bay?
My overall goal is to try and hopefully take the Pro Championship, but I know that the tracks coming up aren't a big fan for the Merc still. the only one that I know will suit the Merc better than the BMW and McLaren is Spa. Laguna Seca's a bit of a one, but I just got to focus on the points really.
Well, we wish you.
Just try to beat Andy and Dan.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. We hopefully get Andy back in a moment. But Jamie, final thoughts from yourself and your driver of the day.
My driver of the day. I'd have to say an North Dubs.
Fair enough. I'm going to give mine to Fury.
Yes, it was a tough one between Fury and Dan.
Yeah, I'd give it Dan, but no, I'm going to give it Fury. I'd give it Dan, but he knows why I'm not going to give it him. So I'm going to give it Fury for a first and a second. I think Dan's first and a third was an absolute joke, and Fury got the better results tonight. But an honourable mention to Arjun, who had a good 5th place, and to KLF, who had a great 5th place in race 1 as well. Good double points all around. We will be back on Sunday night. Dan Davies will be bringing you the commentary live of the British Grand Prix at the old school Silverstone circuit, the home of motorsport, the home of British motorsport. And joining Saturday about 3 p.m. live for the Season 6 live stream of the track selection with myself. I don't know if I can get in on a video call for that one to join me with that, but we'll have to see. Dan and Kelly will be back in the commentary box at Laguna Seca next Wednesday night at 8 p.m. GMT for the Pro-Am. Can I take the fight to Emplava? Yet again, record still on for the Acura. Dan can't get it, but I can get it. And if an Acura takes the record, no one will live it down. So can I take the record and the championship? The championship can be wrapped up at Nürburgring, but it's going to be a tough fight as we go through there. Me and Jamie will be back in the commentary box next week for Laguna Seca for the pros as well, where Dan and Andy separated by 7 points on a relegation scrap that is getting juicy. From all of us, though, here at Simplay Motorsport, have a great weekend. We'll see you Saturday and Sunday. Take care. Good night.
Good night.